Hey, it's your boy Easy.
Oh, it's your boy Ryan, and you're listening to, once again, Turtle Soup, the internet, nay, the world's only listener-supported podcast, all the way dedicated to the
Oh.
ongoing journey of the TMNT, all the way from the very beginning until I figure out how to stop making Minecraft cigarettes.
I need to know all about this.
Oh yeah, it's actually fucking hilarious.
Oh.
I'll fill you guys in on that in a little bit. Until then, we are live on YouTube right now. I know it's been a little while, but we are back. So be sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, get all the notifications, and if you've already done that, share it on your socials so people can see that we're live and come check us out.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is brought to you by two of our very special, wonderful patrons. That would be John Klein III and Evan Roberts.
Absolutely.
John Klein is running for local school board in Montana.
Right.
You can help him out. I believe the website, I'm just going to double check this really fast. I believe it is John Klein for Montana, but I just need to see it really fast.
I mean, it sounds right.
So the website is Klein for Helena, HELENA.com. You can, if you're from the area, you can figure out how to support him, and you can also donate to the cause as well by sending a check in. He's trying to get on the school board and try to be a good person on the school board because we know there's plenty of bad ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially lately.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just a big shout out for John. I saw that he was there, and I was like, man, if I lived in Helena, Montana, I'd vote for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I can't, so I shan't.
And then Evan Roberts, I believe, just saw TWRP for the first time, I think, which is
Oh,
an experience in and of itself. And so congratulations, Evan.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, no, they're fantastic. So, yeah.
Nice. So, speaking of fun things, nice things, running for things. What are we? What are we on the ballot for today?
On the ballot for this evening, we have all the way back from February of 2002, Mirage Comics TMNT Volume Number 4, Issue Number 2. Yeah, taking them one by one for right now, and
one by one. We might speed that up, but right now we've been having a good time taking a stroll and absorbing the return of Mirage TMNT,
right?
In canon Mirage TMNT. So we're doing that, and this is a fun episode. So or fun issue. So we'll be getting into that.
Absolutely.
But really fast, this whole time we've been off, I know things have been going around for everybody. We've kind of, you and I have like kind of been ships in the night, too far away from each other to even see each other.
Oh yeah.
What have you been up to, my man? What's been going on?
Just staying functional as possible. You know, just living, dealing with migraines again, which is fun. And and then running the cat cafe with Shannon, my wife. That's been a trip. And so, just dealing with all kinds of people and doing all that. And then, the biggest thing, though, has probably been, and one of the things that has kind of put us on the back foot, at least this month, was that I've been asked, too many people found out that I play the drums. And
the secret's out.
I know, right? I still don't feel like a drummer. Like that's not.
And it's been so long.
It's been
you've been playing the drums. I was actually, it was funny. I was going back, just to interrupt you really fast. I was going back and re-listening to the Paperback Whale stuff. Like I just got on a thing. I listened all the way from Always on Your Shoulder or Always on My Shoulder, all the way through all the EPs. And it is a clinic on how you over time improved as a drummer, I would think. And that's something that I know I told Preston when I saw him the other day. I was kind of like, you see the evolution of everything. And I've often thought, I've had like a weird like daydream for a long time of like going back and like re-recording Always on Your Shoulder, Always on My Shoulder, because like that record's just so cool. I think it could use like a modern treatment. And I'm like, I was thinking like, what would Eric do on the drums now for those songs? Because because you were kind of doing the Ringo on that record. Like everything was like solid, and like the drum lines are really good, but they're just kind of steady. Like they're kind of keeping the beat, kind of keeping it going, kind of driving behind it. I'm like, but there's so much room in those songs for like other stuff. So anyway. But you're a great drummer.
Oh, well, thank you.
Even though you don't feel like one.
Yeah, no, I just never have. It's always been that like, oh, I can play drums, but I'm this other thing. And it's that classic like thing where the artist isn't happy isn't satisfied with being what they're known for because they want to do something else or whatever. It kind of feels a little bit like that. A little bit like imposter syndrome, along those lines. So so enough people found out about it at the church I work at doing audio to where they were like, hey, we need you for like the college ministry and like the youth ministry now. And so I was like, okay. And it's with a buddy of mine, Jeremy. He's excellent. And but the problem is that he's too good. Like he's a like legit musician. Like not like not to say that you and Preston aren't and stuff like that. It's just that, but we were friends before we played together, and I had only known Jeremy briefly and before we started playing years and years ago, because I played with him before, but like it's just a different dynamic. And plus like, I don't know, it's just different. But well,
I mean, we're all self-taught.
Oh yeah.
Like me, Preston, you, like we're all self-taught. Like I think going to college really gave you and I a better idea of like music theory. And I feel like I could talk more of that, but like, I would not put myself as like a professional or a classically trained musician at all.
Right.
I would never call myself that.
But then like most musicians know that like there's pros and cons to that. Like there's good. Yeah. So it's not like, it's only in that regard would I have Jeremy like on the next ledger line above like you and Preston, like only in that regard, because he like just has that. But then it's like, he might not be able to do artistic stuff. He might not be able to write his own songs, whereas you and Preston can.
Yeah.
Things like
no,
that.
it's all kind of, different sides of
right.
a really awesome coin.
Right. Precisely. But you, me and Preston are kind of like in that same pot where he was like from a different one that kind of, now we're playing music together or whatever. Anyway, that all being said, I started having like a lot of anxiety about not being able to practice the songs because I never owned a kit. I was at the behest of your brother Shane, who let me keep it here, and then just whatever the church had. But so now that I've been playing weekly with the church, I was like, man, it's it's getting to me, and my parents could kind of notice that something was going on. And they're like, my mom's just in that mode where she's like wanting to help. And I think because my sister has cancer, she can't help my sister so much with her cancer. So she wants to see about helping me. And so I was like, well, since I don't have cancer, I kind of could use a drum set. And she's like, oh, okay. And, that's way less expensive. So
that's comparatively.
Comparatively, right. And so she was hounding me. She's like, no, I'll help you out. We'll figure it out. So anyway, we figured it out to get it, and got me a nice rolling electronic kit so I won't scare the cats and all this. But but it's been wondrous to be able to like practice the songs and then go play them. And it's like my confidence has changed. It's just fantastic. But
that's cool. Like, because it's just more time on it. You know what I mean? It's just like more, you can get yourself actually like conditioned.
Yes.
Like better.
And the problem is that I get better. So going to play songs that I have parts for in the past when I wasn't as good, like you were talking about earlier, it's drastically different. If we pull from our back catalog, I have a hard time trying to play some of the stuff I played because it's not necessarily correct or whatever. I mean, it works, but it's not what I would do now. But but that all being said too, the reason that it put us on our back foot is that I had to rearrange the entire office, and my dad's had some surgery, so he couldn't come and help, and I stupidly forgot that I could just ask you to come over and help.
I'm around, man. Well, we'll get into. I was pretty busy on the weekends. We're gonna get into that, but I was also pretty drawn in.
I've heard a couple of things about that, so let me. But before we get there, let me just make sure. I think that was pretty much everything. But had to rearrange everything, and so now that it's kind of like functional, I've got like a setup, and I was like, okay, let's do it. And so hopefully we'll be on a more regular basis here going forward in the next month. But anyway, I think that's been me. So I've heard something is going on at your house, like some things have happening with you, and then you're doing stuff like
so a big thing is that finally I wanted a large shed for my entire adult life, and we finally bought one.
Ooh, Ooh.
So it's being constructed tomorrow, actually. I'm very happy
Okay.
about.
Okay.
Um, so we went and did it, and but the problem is my backyard has a slant, like a
Yeah.
slope that is wild. So I got out there and I was like, I gotta think of some way to like level this, because the thing is that the people will level the shed,
Mm-hmm.
right? But the way they do that is they just put like pieces of cinder block under it and
Yeah.
just prop it up. And
Yeah.
it's like it looks like shit. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
frankly, I just had a feeling, I'm like, the grade on my backyard, the property, it has to be so bad that it'd be insane.
Mm-hmm.
So I got August out there and we started staking stuff off and trying to find a grade. Yeah, at the worst grade, it was a 10-inch drop.
Okay, I'm totally naive to this. A grade meaning, is that like the slant,
That's the
like
slope
the
slope of the
slope?
land.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So just by standing in my backyard, I've just stood out there freaking El Chapo style enough, just stood there and just looked
Yeah,
at the woods and looked
right.
at my grass
Yeah.
long enough that I knew that it sloped off.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, what are we gonna have to do with this? So to make a long story short, we got it out there, and yeah, you're talking about a 10-inch drop off
Jeez.
from where the front of the shed would be, like
Yeah.
ground level,
Right.
to the back,
Yeah.
10 inches.
I mean, 8
I'm like,
inches we can
that
handle, but
is,
10, no. The
yeah,
whole
yeah, right.
10.
Like the whole 8,
Jeez.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
whole 10, I mean, never. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
that's unimaginable.
no, I mean, it'd break me. So I'm like, how do we? So I get my mom and dad involved. My mom just had surgery for a gallbladder thing, so she can like walk around, but she can't really like lift anything or whatever.
Yeah.
So get my mom and dad involved, and I'm like, all right, let me run this by you. And we're talking about how to take care of it. And at first, we're going to make a big dirt mound. I'm like, but 10 inches high, like, what would the slope off for that be? It'd be like a mound. It'd be like this like weird ass mound. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work. So that's when I decided to basically build a semi underground sandbox.
Okay.
Like where I would sink 2x6s, 2x8s down into the ground, where they were almost completely underground at the highest point, and then would run along the ground and stick out.
Yeah.
It'd basically be like a partly underground sandbox that would hold the dirt, like in it, so it wouldn't fall out the back. It wouldn't wash away.
Right.
Then I realized, so had to rent a trench digger to dig the trenches for these boards to go in the ground. That was insane.
Jeez.
Then got all that squared and figured out. Had to construct the frame. I had to put 4x4 corners in the posts that I had to dig at least 3 feet down.
Yeah.
And put concrete because I didn't want it to move. Then found out from the gravel and dirt people that dirt wouldn't work and it's way cheaper because it could wash away. So I had to get gravel instead. So I had 5 yards of gravel dropped off into this box by a huge ass truck that I had to then spread, and then had to go rent a compactor to compact it down so that it would be stable. And it is currently out there, and it looks like the most like beautiful looking like gravel rock garden, like Japanese rock garden you've ever seen. Yeah. But it's going to have a whole shed put on top of it.
Oh, okay.
So that was that was like, and the schedule for the shed was like it's on Friday the 18th, and I'm like,
oh,
better get to this. So it was like 2 full weekends of work, digging, placing, leveling, all this stuff. So that like just whipped my ass completely.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
And also not just on the weekends, but like weekdays, like in the afternoon, I was working on it. So so the shed's coming. This is like my last obligation before I get to go to bed, and then tomorrow I'm just gonna sit on my porch and watch these brilliant people build my shed, and it's gonna be amazing. It's 10 by 15. It's huge.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, because Farmer Greg got one, and it's nice, but like I'm at the age now where I think we both are, and this is what we're saying.
You're like, oh, hey.
It's like, oh, okay, like room for activities. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's gonna have a part of it because you can design it. It's gonna have a workbench along the whole backside.
Oh, okay.
So like a 10-foot wide workbench, and then shelves on the right side, and it's a barn. Okay. So it has lofts.
Oh.
So there's like loft area front and back where for more storage up top. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. The next thing is going to be running power to it. which I'm already planning how to do that. But so that's been a big deal. The last thing I wanted to talk about was a book I read that I had checked off of my old school sci-fi bucket list. The book is called A Canticle for Leibowitz. Have you ever heard of it?
No, but that sounds like like a very animated character, kind of like I see that sounds like a book you would see at a book fair, like in school. And it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
It has that kind of name.
Yeah. It
so
just rolls off the tongue.
I had heard about it. I knew it won the Hugo. I like and all this stuff, but like it always just kind of passed me by.
Yeah.
I finally sat down and read it, and it's amazing. So yeah, it's a Canticle for Leibowitz by Walter M. Miller Jr. It's the only novel he ever published. It was published in 1959, and the basic back of the box is it follows the order of Saint Leibowitz. This book takes place after a nuclear disaster. 600 years afterwards, it starts out.
Okay.
And it is it all takes place around this abbey that it's basically all Catholic. Like Catholicism is like the only religion that like kind of survived.
Okay.
Because it had like order, like it had Rome, and it had like all the abbeys and
like
bishops and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the infrastructure like really worked for it to continue. This is all between the lines. Like you have to kind of think it out, and they give you little things, but the back of the book is that it follows this monastic order of people who are dedicated to Saint Leibowitz. And Leibowitz was a scientist that they have relics of existing before the war.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't want to give too much away. It is really good. The cool thing is it really tackles. I really want you to read it so we can talk about it. It tackles a lot of religious themes, like when it comes to the religious angle of this whole situation.
Yeah,
like is mankind like doomed to repeat itself? Like what is the nature of man and its power? And it's just really fucking good. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's funny in parts.
Yeah.
It's really sad in parts. But yeah, A Canticle for Leibowitz. It is available if you are. I listened to it on Libby, which is the Hillsborough County Public Libraries app.
I love
but
that.
if you have an app for your public library, because my wife is on the library board, and I've gotten a lot more involved in libraries in general. Most of in your county, make sure you go get a library card. And then most of them have an app, and it has books and audiobooks on there for free.com.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is wait in line sometimes because they don't have a ton of copies of every audiobook.
Right.
But you want to talk about ways to listen to audiobooks. What's the only price is you might have to wait 3 weeks. Like, who cares? Queue up a bunch.
Yeah.
And go listen to them. But they have these like older works, and I've listened to a ton of books through our library app. So that's just a shout out to the libraries in general and technology, and A Canticle for Leibowitz.
Well, speaking of technology and audiobooks, do they have it yet to where you can choose the AI voice that reads it to you? Like, I mean, I'm sure they have actual actors who do it, but how long
they
do you think
they do have narrators?
How long do you think it's going to be before they do that? Where you're like, yeah,
I think AI books. I think AI read quote unquote audiobooks already exist in the independent publisher community, like the indie community. I think they've done stuff with AI generated book things. I don't know. I mean, they don't have it where you can select the voice because they have to manually debug it, because you know all AI reading is not correct. It's still a process of editing and like having to retouch words and stuff like that. So I don't think we're there yet.
But I love thinking about the idea of it, that like, let's say we get there and we've perfected it. You could be like, I want to listen to this book, but I want it read like to me as a Southerner, like a Southern American. And so it goes through, it gives you the accent, but it also like,
but I think what would be
localizes.
Lost. Yeah, I think the only problem there is that like the thing that narrators bring to audiobooks that's really great is their ability to do different slight inflection changes for different characters.
Right.
And I don't know if AI would get there. It'd take a lot of programming to get AI to do it right. And the problem is, if you're listening to a book that's, say, normally it's read in like, region free English, like kind of like a straight newscaster voice. And when they have a Southern character, they do the Southern accent. Well, then you lose that if you had it all in Southern accent. Do you know what I mean?
Understandably. I guess I'm just thinking about like not having the nuance of it, but also just like leaning into, I wish I could, basically appealing to people who don't like to read words that are $5 words and stuff like that, but they want the story. So that's
already. Oh, you're talking about like the AI would read it, like would dumb down the words for you.
Yes, it would.
I mean that's an abomination. But
I know it is, but I think it's kind of funny though that if it eventually probably will exist, where it could use the common vernacular of your time or whatever time you want it to be read in. And I don't know. I just think that would be a neat experience. Not that it's the best one.
That is interesting. The last thing I'll say about A Canticle for Leibowitz is that if you read that, I could see us doing like I don't even know what it would be released on, but if you and I could probably do a couple hours on that book, and like that would just be its own thing. I would love to record us talking about it, just because I think it would be pretty epic. Like your views from like your religious upbringing, I think would really like cast some different light on the book.
Oh, okay.
That are very interesting. There's a lot of pieces of faith in there. It's cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, look for that soon. The no homework zone, where it's a 2-hour. You better have read fucking Canticle for Leibowitz, which is not even turtle related at all.
Right. No.
And then we're gonna get there, and then hope you enjoy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, are you ready to hop into this content?
I am, but I did want to touch base with chat real quick. We have in the chat, and he's sincerely doubting that I can actually play the drums. He says that I walk upright and formulate complete sentences. So like that doesn't compute with him. So I mean, the jury's out. Like I don't know. Like you'd have to tell me, Em. You can come stay here and watch me play, or I can film it and just send it to you privately. But the best thing. I'm such a smart ass, dude. I forgot about telling you this. So my mom wanted to hear it, but like I got it hooked up, but I don't have a speaker because I was just playing it through my earbuds. So she wanted to hear how it sounded. So I just filmed me playing the electronic drum set, and all she heard was the click, like the hits, and I sent it to her. And she thought it was funny.
Amazing.
But yeah, I'm such a smart ass.
That's pretty great.
So then Francisco here
yo,
with
Francisco
us, finally made it here, and start back at 1, y'all. Number one, Brian McKnight back at 1.
Oh, back at 1. That's an old reference.
Oh yeah. And then when you were talking about the shed, he said testify. And so and then M said that he'd pick up an AI Vin Diesel for every book. And
it'd be so funny if the AI Vin Diesel went off the chain and it was all about family. Like everything was about family. Like it doesn't matter. He's and seriously, at the end of a chapter, it's like Maria laid her head down and softly died. And that's what I call family.
Right. Yeah.
Chapter 3. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit.
It's like I saw it coming, but I'm still happy.
Yeah. You're like, I saw it coming, but I didn't think it would happen. Now I believe it.
Exactly. And then Aces Place 22 is here saying hello, everyone. Hello.
And,
welcome. So
I miss having chat. I miss doing the live show. Now we've got everything ironed out. We're back. I'm so excited to do more live stuff.
Yeah.
And I would love to do another chef special at some point, because I miss those like full live streams where it's just dedicated to chat and like we just like go off with chat. It's so fun.
Oh yeah, I think once we get back on a regular schedule again, we can probably we
can start
spool that back up. But
because right now we when we're here we owe the Trolltarians episodes. You know what I'm saying? Now earlier on, M said not only did he bring Tupperware for leftovers from this soup, you know what I mean, to get him by.
Yeah.
He also says that he skipped on Lodge tonight. Dang. So I told him we try to make it magical. and I hope that we've already laid the groundwork for that.
Yeah.
But like we're gonna get there.
Right.
So here we go. Mirage Volume 4, issue number 2 from February of 2002.
That's what I have in the notes.
February of 2002.
That's what it says on there.
And this is the cover. And just to get you guys back in here, last episode we talked about the big year, scary year 2000, where nothing came out for the Turtles. That Kevin Eastman divested himself of TMNT, selling his shares to Peter Laird and Mirage Studios. We talked about the interesting history about how that payment structure was not fully paid off until 2009. Coincidentally, around the same time that Peter wound up selling the Turtles to Viacom. All of a sudden, Kevin Eastman's back on the IDW comic, and now he's the face of Turtles again.
Yeah.
I was explaining that to Alicia today when we were out getting food, and she's like, "That's crazy." I'm like, "Oh, I want to give it a TED talk." I'm like, "You want to hear about crazy? How about trying to get some toys made?" And they say, make a whole ass cartoon first. And you're like, okay.
Oh yeah.
And then you're like, toys? And they're like, okay, shit, let's go. Like, the story's crazy. But
absolutely.
We talked about that and about how this is a return to form. This is Peter Laird with Jim Lawson, a lot of the same Mirage crew coming back together. And we were really impressed with the first issue. It was definitely an issue that was setting stuff up.
Yeah.
But now we are on this. We have full color covers. This is number 2 for $2.95, boys. $4.10 in Canada.
Yeesh.
I'm sorry for my Canadian brothers and sisters. That's a lot. But what do you think about this cover, Eric? What you got on this?
So I love it. I think the coloring is great. The spatial depth is fantastic, and it's. I think we mentioned this earlier. It reminds me of Donatello in Volume 3 falling out of the helicopter before he gets paralyzed or dies or whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of triggering if I'm being honest. But
it is,
the coloring on who we find out to be Michelangelo is just great, and it's interesting because this is definitely a Lawson turtle,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's the pencils at the very least are Lawson. That's his style.
Oh yeah, the hands and feet just tell you Lawson right off the bat. Yeah,
exactly. If it was a human, you could totally tell by the face as well. But when it comes to the turtles, at the very least, the hands and feet are how you know. And I think it works. I would probably enjoy a lot more of Lawson's artwork if it was all done with this much detail and stuff like that.
That's the thing is this would be like Kingdom Come Jim Lawson. You know what I mean? Where the entire issue is fucking fine art. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
For sure. I'm actually specifically trying to find the cover credits.
I think they're on the next page because it's oh gosh, it's escaping me. Is it Dooney? I think it's Dooney.
Oh yeah, it's Dooney cover painting.
Yeah.
So you have a Lawson pencil on Michael Dooney full paint, and everything about the spatter effects for the snow in the background image, it's hard to explain, but using paint spatter. And stuff instead of I don't know, a lot of times when you try to do flakes and stuff, it's just a dot. So you have the splatter out from Michelangelo, it's all kind of out from the center. It makes it feel feel to me like he's falling and the snow is parting around him. As he's falling, he's so heavy, he's falling through the snow.
Falling through it. Yeah.
And it's shooting out from around him. It just makes the image just so stark.
Right.
Also love the color palette matching of It's a Snowy Night, and you can see that reflected in the colors they chose.
Oh yeah.
That Michael chose for Mikey. It's all muted and dark gray and very it's a gray night.
And then
it's just gorgeous.
The other thing, hashtag front tail, but also the shading and the scratches on the shell, on his chest. Looks fantastic and just
it really does.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it looks like paint that was scratched off, in a very physical process, which is So cool. And yeah, and then of course that huge, gradiated orange masthead just
Oh yeah,
jumps out at you. It's crazy. Classic. You and I are both just trash for when the art breaks the masthead.
oh
And this is another great. I
yes,
mean, this is just beautiful example of that. Yeah, I can't say enough. It's a great cover. It really
absolutely.
is. Like if there was just a poster of this, I would just take it. I'd be like,
Mm,
that's mine.
I could see that.
So did you want to cover the first half and do the back half, or me do the first half? Like, what do you want to do for this?
I'll let you do the back half. How about that? Does that work?
Okay. Yeah.
So, because really the only reason why I'm being so adamant about it is because I want to talk about this plate. Look at this plate,
Adamant.
Ryan. Adamant. Look at this plate.
That plate, bro.
That's your boy
That's
Donatello
Donnie on a plate.
on a plate.
Just in this cover.
Yeah.
Just inside this comic.
Yeah. I love that, and I have so many questions. But
did you read the letter section in the back?
no, because I knew you would, and I wanted you to. That's why I've got to.
You're setting me up.
Yeah. So
okay.
But now that since I'd kind of forgotten about the letters page, now with that in mind, would you rather do the front half and then I break it up?
I don't have anything in the letters page I really want to read.
Okay.
There's just one highlight.
Gotcha.
Point
okay.
In it.
So we'll just keep it.
But
then.
No. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, this plate, like unbeknownst to me, anything about this, I love it, and I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. You know what I'm saying?
We'll have an explanation for it because it's in the back of the comic.
Like this is something that I could see on the Home Shopping Network that they would be like, "Hey, we got these 4 turtle plates," and I'll be like, "Let me go get Mom's credit card."
Let me tell
you,
this also, I don't know why the plate, the way that it like angles down into like its kind of bowl formation. This looks just like the plates they had at Pizza Hut back in the day.
Oh,
like back when you used to like get some plates and actually they bring you your pizza, like for real.
Yeah.
This looks just like a Pizza Hut plate, and I'm like all about this shit. It's the plate that can work for pizza or the salad bar.
Yeah.
That plate.
Dual
I can
purpose.
literally see that in my head right now. That's that plate.
Well, everything that you're seeing on the screen so far and what you will be seeing in this comic has been done by Peter Laird, the writing, the lettering, the inking, and the toning. Jim Lawson did the layouts, penciling. Michael Dooney did the cover painting, and Dan Berger did production assistance. And again, like I just want to shout out Dan. Dan is amazing.
Fucking Dan the man. That's what we call him. That
so good. If you have not listened to our episodes about the comic strips that he did everything for, practically, you need to, or if not, just go check them out. They're excellent work, and he is one of my favorite Turtles artists.
Yeah.
So hands down.
Awesome.
So, all right. Now, so basically, last episode and last issue.
A visit from So Basicallys?
Yeah, so I forgot about So Basicallys. Oh my gosh, dude. I forgot about So Basicallys.
Oh man. We were wild for that one. So Basicallys is so good.
Oh, it's so good. So basically the Utroms are on the moon with some other being. We're not entirely sure who it is yet, but they're working on some sort of space station, and there are other beings that are there, and just generally everyone's being kind of ominous. They're not really giving too much information.
Yeah.
The Turtles, we got introduced to them in homages to Volume 1, their first appearances. They're fighting a group of people called the Mad Hatton Militia. And they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and they got some snowmobiles involved. Well, Donnie ends up getting on one after the fighting and everything, and everyone's kind of like going home. Donnie gets on a snowmobile and has a joyride. He inadvertently knocks Mikey on his ass and continues down the subway entrance, wrecks the snowmobile. It explodes and it reveals an armored car. And Donnie's like, "Oh snap! I gotta go tell my boys." So then Mikey is like just totally knocked out, but he's picked up by some character named Magnum Rock, whatever, something like that.
Well, we don't know really fast because I did review it. It's just a figure. We don't know who it is.
Oh, I thought they said his name.
I didn't think they said it in the first issue.
I'm pretty sure that they said his name, but I could be mistaken. But
have it open. But
I
a bus
believe.
hits him too. That's the other thing. A
Do I
bus
know?
hits
Oh, the
Mikey.
bus. Yeah, the bus hit him. That's right. I forgot about
He
the
gets
bus.
knocked over by your boy, and then he's
Right.
like, and he gets up, and then a bus is immediately there to get his ass.
Thank you.
And he's like,
Yes, because
oh shit.
that comes back up in this issue. The bus.
You are correct. Magnarok.
Yeah.
That is who that is. I
So
apologize.
then Casey and April are at the apartment, which I believe was their apartment from volume 2, where Casey was in the basement or whatever. I think that's still the same place. And they have a doctor's appointment, presumably something to do with a baby and conceiving, things like that.
Yeah.
And then Shadow, we see, who is Casey's stepdaughter, is or adopted daughter, I guess would be the better thing to say.
Yeah,
one of the
two.
Yeah. Is training with Metalhead, who is a figure from the Mirage Volume 1 days. He's an old superhero.
Number 13.
Yes. And they are at what I thought was the Northampton house, but I think this is a different house that we haven't been introduced to yet or explained about or whatever. But nevertheless, it's still like upstate, somewhere different from New York City.
Oh, it's like a cabin with like a little outdoor garage, and there's like woods nearby. It's nowhere like it is like a retreat that's away from the city.
And Splinter is also there with them, and so that's kind of pretty much everything that happened last issue. So
yeah, a big revelation was seeing the time and seeing that Shadow is a teenager, like an older teenager. And is like actively training in the martial arts. Like, that was probably like the biggest like smack in the face to me, where I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, because we saw her in volume 3, but this again, if you're new to this, they're kind of skipping over that. They're kind of pretending that
they
didn't
are.
happen.
I mean, she was like a toddler in volume 3,
right?
Like ish, like a little older, maybe like 7 or 8.
Yeah,
so that's actually a lot older than a toddler. But like they have skipped time, and if you don't count Image's canon, which at this point they're not. Then it's been a long time.
I want to say it's probably been 15 years since volume 2 from the context.
Potentially.
What they said, I think, because I think they said it was easier when this fighting happened like 15 years ago or whatever.
But yeah, she is like away. She is alive. She is a full on badass girl, and she is like whipping ass.
Yes.
Which was like, I'm like, oh shit. Hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. So now, getting into this issue, we open up where Michelangelo is just on some sort of gurney or table or something. He's strapped down and he's like, what happened? What's going on? And we have
like me on your couch, like back in the day when we would be recording.
Oh yeah,
I'd be laying there just like that, and that box would be some food.
Oh yeah.
And I'd just be laying there like, oh, I feel like shit. And you're probably going like, Ryan, you have not stopped eating.
Yeah, that's like, probably why.
I'm like, man, I'm just so tired. I gotta lay down. You're like, bro's been drinking sweet tea and eating shit all day,
right?
And now he's gonna lay down. Yeah, that was me. And that's you above me with all these like injections trying to like wake me up for the podcast. You're like, don't fall asleep, bitch. You know?
Yeah. Here's some salt. But so somebody's doing something right there, and they're kind of speaking like kind of like a paramedic would, and they're saying inbound with a patient, non-human, vital signs are stable, ETA 2 minutes. And at this point, Michelangelo is kind of like getting up, like he's like, what's going on? And so we see these other two people, and you're starting to get the idea that it looks like he's in an ambulance of some sort.
Yeah,
and
there's like the medical cross like in the background, and like doors, and
right. And it just seems like people are trying to comfort him. Now, my first thought is are these Utroms? Because this is like that same kind of thing where they present very human, and then all of a sudden
they present very. I mean, all they gotta do is lift that little shirt up, and you see that little boy in there. But besides that, they seem totally normal.
Exactly. Yeah. And so Mikey's like, yeah, no, I'm not safe here. I'd feel much safer when I'm not strapped down. Which, I kind of get the the point there.
I feel safer when I'm strapped down.
Oh,
so
that's where you and I differ.
Two sides of a coin.
Yeah. Exactly. That's all it is. Different strokes, everybody. But Mikey starts to he's like, Ninja kicks the damn rabbit and gets out, and he runs for the door. And the order or the nurses or whoever they are, the paramedics, they're like, sir, you're injured, and wait, I wouldn't open that door. And sure enough, Mikey does, and he's like, whoa, and he is in the air. like Phil Collins tonight, and
oh yeah.
Yeah, but he starts to stop feeling his hand because he's getting dizzy, and he ends up letting go because he's on, because he just woke up from like a traumatic experience, and then he's probably got some kind of like
he's weak, and he's just like, yeah.
So he lets go, and then the paramedic just goes, "Damn."
Your boy goes, "Damn."
So then we get the cover image right here. And which is really cool. Not quite as cool as the cover.
Oh, I mean, it's not gonna be like fully painted again, but yeah.
Right, but it's still neat. And then you get this character on the right that Ryan, what does this guy look like?
Archangel.
There you go, nailed it right there. Just
like he looks like Archangel, but with longer hair.
The third.
Yeah, Warren Worthington. But during his hippie era.
Oh yeah, and so yeah, this guy coming down with like Casey Jones from the movie One Hands, like just like, oh my God.
Oh no, those hands are going real far, like all the way around. Like that guy could like shake your hand and also touch your butt. You'd be like, how can you do that? And it's like that's the power of those hands.
Exactly. Yeah. So yes,
there is better odds that if he were to touch you anywhere, there is a better odd he would molest you than he would not.
Right. Inadvertently, like he's not trying.
Well, yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's inadvertent. It's like if I threw a tablecloth at you, odds are it would touch you in a place that's inappropriate.
Right.
Like that's this guy's hands all the time. He's like, high five, I diddled you, and he didn't
exactly.
Even do it.
Yeah, exactly. So he swings in and he says, "Gotcha," and we get a better look at him here. I didn't realize this, but yeah, he's got some weird. He's basically got angel wings, long hair, and he's got a contraption on his feet that looks like he's wearing a boot that has raptor claws, or like
that
like
just looks like
claws.
his feet, my man.
I thought that, but then it could
like
also
that looks like his feet. Like,
I could see it either way.
So at the bottom of the panel, when he's landed on the outside of kind of like in the doorway of the ambulance,
right?
Like it looks like I can see like a border that go around your ankle.
Yeah.
But when you look at it the other way, his legs are so thin.
That's the thing that makes me
into
think
that foot.
Yeah, that's what makes me think that it's real.
No, they have like, look at the top. Like they actually have like boot soles on the bottom.
So what you're saying? So
okay, you're right.
Noticed the leg like being so thin, and I was like, oh, that has to be like his leg.
That's just his leg. Yeah, it's his foot. Yeah.
But then like you just said, I saw the sole in the shoe, and I was like,
you saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. You know what I mean? And now I can see that it clearly has boot soles.
And now all you want is another baby.
All I want's another baby. But like, here's what's weird is like, why?
Yeah. Leaning into it, I guess we'll find out in a second. We find out because this character flies Michelangelo back up to the aerial paramedic, and the nurse apparently knows this character, and he says, "Thanks, Raptar." So I think that he's leaning into the bird motif, if that's not
like a raptor
real,
bird,
precisely.
Yes. Yeah,
and so So yeah, he said he was just in the neighborhood and was flying by. Thought you could use a hand, so there's that. And so Mikey's safe aboard the ambulance, and now we come back to the sewers of New York, where Raphael is talking about how Florida sounds good right about now, and Leo says, "You say that every winter," and I mean, I don't know. As a Florida resident, it's kind of hard for me to be impartial, but it's been kind of nice weather-wise.
Florida lately, like April's been like, no, we'll still keep you cool, and I'm like, what? Exactly. April for real?
Yeah.
All I know is this, and this is old Southern wisdom. I'm sure you've heard it too. We're gonna pay for this shit.
Oh yeah,
that's how it.
There's a monkey's paw involved here.
There is, the longer past like February into March, the longer you keep nice weather, summer is gonna screw you, and fall, quote unquote, will come so much later.
Right.
Like to make up for this, it'll be hot in December.
Yeah.
Like it's just this is the way it goes. So
exactly.
Take the good, you take the bad.
Facts of life. So, but Raph's biggest problem here is just how cold it is, and he's talking about how he hates being cold blooded.
I love that line because they seldom talk about that. I love it.
Yeah. So Leo pulls back this weird looking panel. Actually, no, I thought it was. So you see here, I thought it was this. This is like just not really important, but I thought it was in the upper right. I thought that was the panel that he pulled back. I'm like, that's a little too obvious. No. That's like in Zelda where you know where the bomb placements should go because you're like, oh yeah, that's obviously where it is. But no, when you
that's
look,
a big tile where you put it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, when you look closer at what Leo's doing, he's actually
it's part of the wall.
Part of the wall. Yeah. So so they use their they do their code and whatever, they put it in, and then like this door just kind of like swings inward and they can go down further into the sewers, which is really cool. And Leo says he's going to make Raph some tea. And so here's where we find out some interesting things about Raph is that he does not like tea, like at all. Yep. Just does not.
No.
He in fact hates tea. You know what I'm saying? And Leo offers up mullied cider. Is that right?
Hot mold
cider. Yeah, there you go. And or coffee. No, but then hits him with the hot chocolate. And he's like, oh yeah, now you're talking. And this kind of reminds me, I think I was watching, who was it? Oh, I just lost my ear. I was watching some comedian talking about, it might have been Bill Burr, but it might have been somebody else. I don't know who it was. They were talking about you can't just go and order a hot chocolate as a man. And I was like, I mean, I beg to differ. I mean, I think you can just do whatever you want as a man. But I just didn't know if you had any of those hangups with that. Like, where do you sit with hot chocolate?
That's kind of similar to wasn't there the Patton Oswalt whole thing about like you call yourself a man but try to order ice cream with sprinkles. Try to say sprinkles, and you're gonna be like, it's always like, yeah, give me an ice cream with sprinkles, like every time, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do I have any hangups?
I just didn't
as
know
far
where
as
you
like
stand
as far as like
in general with hot chocolate. Like, do you have any interesting things? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't. I mainly think it's for kids. I think kids enjoy it more. I don't find myself, when I was a kid, I really liked hot chocolate. I don't find myself there anymore. I'd rather have a coffee because that's just kind of what I'm used to.
Yeah.
I'd rather have like a hot Earl Grey tea or something like that too before I'd go hot chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm just not looking to drink chocolate. Like that's just like, I'm out.
You know what's weird? This is really dumb. I never thought about it. Ryan, I'm fucking sorry. This is...
Yeah, no, you're drinking cocoa powder, bro. You're drinking chocolate. It's fucking weird.
I've never thought about it that I'm drinking chocolate.
You're drinking chocolate.
The literalness of it, Ryan.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it until you just...
No, you take like cocoa powder, which you would normally use to mix with milk and then mold and sugar and make chocolate. You're just putting it into water, making a thin chocolate, and then you're drinking it.
Like... It's not that far from just melting chocolate and drinking that. Like it's
like
not
melt
that
chocolate, add like water to it,
right,
and drink it.
Never thought of it like that. Never thought of it like
that. Yeah.
I
see,
don't
it's weird
know
to
why.
Me.
That I get it now. I can understand why that would be weird to you. But now,
my hang up really fast. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no,
I was gonna say I do. Just side topic. I do have one. You can't be a man. Hang up. It's just one.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. And maybe working at the game shop just burned me up.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be out as a man in pajama pants.
And by that you mean you can't be presenting like that I'm a dude, like I'm a
you can't be man. Look, I'm not that like guy who's like, that's not a man. Like I'm not that dude. But I have a baseline level of like just common respect for a man.
Okay.
And it's not that I don't think you can go out in pajama pants.
Yeah.
But I think that if you are a man in pajama pants going around, I think you have given up your right to do anything like pretty much besides sit there. Okay. So like, for example, don't come at me as a man into a game store wearing pajama pants and try to do business with me, like sell me Magic cards, for example.
Okay.
You've given up. If you're wearing pajama pants and Crocs, you've given up your manly right to come and do business with another man or person.
Yeah.
In general.
Oh.
I mean, you can't be in pajama pants ordering food at a restaurant because you don't have a man's right to order your own food. You really I really feel like it's all there.
Okay, can we talk about, Nick is in the chat asking, is there a difference? Is PJs different than sweats? That's kind of what I want to get to
100%.
You're talking about the thin, loose,
usually printed with a pattern.
Yeah.
Patterns all over them. Ass pajama pants as a man.
I'm out. The only caveat is if you're on vacation, but even then, I still think it still applies. But yeah, I don't know. But at this point, I'm like wearing.
Oh, he says Nick, I just got in here. He says, how are PJs any different than sweats?
Oh,
they are so different. Sweatpants, number one, they're thicker. They're actually pants that people wear to work out and to be outside. They are acceptable pants. Do I run around in sweatpants? I don't. It's not my thing.
I have.
But do I feel it? Yeah. Do I feel it? Absolutely. Those were pants that were made to be outside. You could be outside your home in sweats. At that point, you're fine.
Yeah.
Pajama pants, thin, loose fabric with shit all over it. You're going to go out in public as a man and you're going to come to me as a man wearing that.
Does it matter? If you, what the print is on it, not the dick print, but the
So he asked if the pattern is TMNT. Look, I feel like I love the TMNT. Wear those at home. Dude, if you're at the house, TMNT pajamas, bro, go all day. And that's the thing is, I gotta say, it's not like if you wear pajamas, you're weak.
No, it's just if you
don't go out
outside
in public in them shits.
Yeah,
is all I'm trying to say. Don't come. And if you want to, like I said, it's a free country. Literally, go do it. But don't come to me with that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I kind of understand what you're saying.
Get your ass back to Slumberland, little Nemo. Yes, Drew, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay,
take your little ass back to Slumberland. Don't for example, you, as a man, if you're wearing pajama pants in public, you give up. So you have no ground to stand on. Example. So you're gonna go get some McDonald's. All right, and you're wearing pajama pants. Okay. And I don't care if you do drive-through, pick-up order, or whatever. You can't be lame and do Uber Eats because you can just stay in your pajama pants. You have to be at the McDonald's in some fashion, okay? Or any fast food place. And they do the thing now where they just park you for any reason. It doesn't matter. It's like, oh, did you order half a drink? Park. And that's just acceptable. That's just acceptable now. Pull around to the stop sign every time. So they bring you your shit out, and let's say your shit's wrong, and they walk away. This is the thing they love to do. They love to run.
Yeah,
they'll give you that bag, and you're like in the middle. No, I'm not. It is like some Nightcrawler shit, bro. It is like some Kurt bullshit. You'll open that bitch, you hear bamf, and they're gone. They don't even walk away. They just teletransport. Okay, so your food's ass wrong.
Yeah,
and you're mad because you're you could at least have stood there and made sure that my food was right. I'm on the way somewhere. What now? I got to get up and get out of my car. I got to park it here and I got to go inside. No, as a man, hell, as anybody, you have the right, but this is specifically for men because I carved this out for women. Women can wear pajama pants in public. I don't care. I know. Okay. I don't know why.
Yeah,
maybe they're grandmothered in. I don't know. I feel like women did it first, and it's okay.
So I guess I could see that.
They're grandmothered in. Guys didn't used to do this shit for 100 years.
Your grandfather didn't have
now all of a
pants.
sudden it was a thing now.
Okay.
So yeah, men's pajama pants were fucking naked or in my boxers, and now all of a sudden we're just going out in pajama pants. But yeah, so now you've got a real bone to pick with McDonald's. You're pissed. You're basically in a falling down moment. It's all added up. Getting parked 100 times, just for one thing. You go out, you walk into that damn restaurant, and you want to go to that person behind the counter and say, "You fucked my order up. I'm really annoying. I'm really annoyed. Whatever." And you got those damn pajama pants on. You have lost all ground to stand on. You can't.
So they're gonna say that they're gonna see you wearing them pants. They're gonna be like, "I'm sorry, you're wearing them pants." It doesn't matter.
I wouldn't blame them.
Okay.
I wouldn't blame them.
Okay.
Be like, "Why don't you come back with real pants on, and you can come to me as a man and talk to me about your order." Right now, you're wearing pajama pants in public.
Yeah. No.
Also, where's your wallet? Where's your wallet? Where's your wallet?
Because some of them pajama pants don't have pockets.
Lumping out the side pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's
it.
just whatever.
No. I agree in the sense that like I see where you're coming from, but I get that. I definitely feel different when I have made the terrible choice to just stay in my pajama pants and go outside. It definitely feels weird. It reminds me of
you can feel it. You can feel that you've lost every right.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that.
Sure.
But it kind of reminds me of Patton. I think it's Patton. One of Patton's jokes about going out in or it might have been Tosh. Something about going out in flip flops. Like that better be the only thing you're gonna do today. Like you better not run. Like have any plans to like. Nothing better happen because you're not going to run in flip flops.
Oh, 100%.
It's kind of a similar thing to that. But anyway, getting back to hot chocolate. Sorry
guys. I think at one point M said, "Tings the 1 minute warning debate bell." Yeah, I feel like I said just 1 second. I have a hang up, and I just went on. But yeah, obviously, if Turtletarian, I love all of you.
Oh yeah, no, and we could be loud and wrong about this too.
Man. So like next time you walk out the door as a man in just your pajama pants, just like take a second and you may notice that you feel kind of like it's almost like in a video game where you walk into a place where you have to check your weapons.
It does.
You know what I mean? Before you go in.
It does feel like that.
You're in, that's how it is. Like you might feel this feeling of like, oh, I'm like disarmed going outside now.
Yeah. No, I get that.
What's being disarmed from you and being taken from you is your right as a man to do anything, to pay money for goods and services, to have a complaint, to
you better not try to haggle.
Yeah, God, can you imagine trying to roll up to the pawn shop or any place like that, and you try to haggle some boys?
No,
you are going to get laughed out of the room. I would not move a dime for a guy wearing pajama pants in public.
And for our lady listeners, I want to know if you feel any different wearing them, because like, I tend to not have that much of a stigma with it.
No, I feel like because women did it first. I just feel like back in the day, like girls would go out in pajama pants, and like, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit like, all right. Like I would prefer, like sometimes they would wear the big ass slippers. Like those big puffy things, like out to Panera, and I'm like, that's a bit much. We're an actual shoe, but
I get it. There's something
grandfather in. I think mainly because they're so abused when it comes to like having pants with pockets at all.
Oh, that's
like they
true.
Get screwed all the time, dude. Like Alicia has this pair of jeans. They're Jessica Simpson brand jeans, which is hilarious.
Yeah,
but they look really good. Mm-hmm. Like they're cut well, they look really good on her, but she straight up says like, dude, the pockets are a damn joke. They're not pockets, but like they're cut in a way. There's even the thing is they're not even sewed straight down. There's like enough of a little gap where like it looks like it could open, but hell no. You know what I mean?
No.
And I understand all the reasons why they changed that. I get it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that I tend to change is that sometimes I'll put hot chocolate with my coffee, and because
you're kicking my ass a little bit on that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, it's just why not? I mean, it's a hot brown drink. I mean, I just mix it too.
Yeah.
And it's
an interesting combo. Okay.
It's not bad. It's not great.
Okay.
But like I'm just using it to get me through. But I usually drink the hot chocolate during the wintertime, like when it's cold outside, something like that. There's something about that. But and
I think it's nostalgic, right? Because like for back in the day. And my kids still love it. Like we'll have, when it's chilly, we'll have like fires, like bonfires, and we'll get hot cocoa. Like Alicia will get hot cocoa and like make them hot cocoa by the fire. It's cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really understand what Raph's deal is. I think he might feel the same way you feel about pajama pants about hot chocolate.
Or about tea.
Or about tea. I think he has to feel different about tea because tea.
Everyone's saying, Eric, everyone in the chat is saying that's just cafe mocha.
As someone who owns a cafe now, I should know this, but really, I don't know anything about any of it.
John Clemens and Nick Douglas. So America's Hat and America Proper are both telling you that that's just a mocha. That's just like
here I am thinking
from the hat to the hat rack. They're basically telling you that it's all mocha. Which
thank you.
America feels like Canada's hat rack these days. But anyway.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. But I'm curious. Anyway, I'm curious if the Raph's hatred of tea has anything to do with Splinter, because Splinter is known to be a purveyor of tea.
Well, if you want my headcanon,
sure.
I think Raph has a general annoyance with anything English, because in the movie. He's like, you got to know crumpets, know cricket, and all that shit. And like, he's basically making fun of the cricket bat and shit, and like just making fun of it in general. And then it's like crumpets, cricket, tea. I'm just feeling a lot of like kind of anti-colonial British hate, and I'm here for it.
I can tell. I can see that. Yeah, that could be a thing. Well,
man, really fast. Sorry, Francisco. It says I have my second printing, Volume 4, Issue 2 in my hands right now. It is glorious and smells of history.
Oh yeah. Francisco, does it feel different than a normal comic? Because I have memories of it feeling not necessarily the inner pages, because I think those are like they felt kind of like how Mirage comics used to feel like on the white paper. But I felt like the covers felt different, kind of like not necessarily just like an iPhone box or whatever, but like
glossy or
not glossy. It felt just kind of
like textured.
Yeah, there was a sort of kind of texture to it or something in my recollection. I have them. I just didn't get to them today. Yeah. But yeah, I was just curious about that. But since you have it out, I wonder if I don't know if that's a thing or not. But yeah. But one thing that I'm absolutely loving about this scene with Raph and Don, or Raph and Leo, is Leo just talking about how he's gonna make Raph these drinks, like going through and how he's kind of being like the big brother or whatever. And it's it's just a really neat scene.
And he's like, I'll crank the heat up a bit too, and he's that like, oh, thanks, bro.
Oh yeah, this is nice because it
is.
So often we see them at odds with one another, and at some point it becomes trite. Like it's just like, okay, yeah, they're doing this again. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I want to see it. The reason why it gets paid off is because you see moments like this. So when they are at each other's throats, it means something, because you know it could be different, as opposed to just like, why are they still around if they hate each other so much?
I think I would go so far as to say, and again, I'm not, speaking for Peter Laird, but my theory would be that like this scene absolutely reties them. This is like basically a statement page where he's kind of like, yeah, no, Raph and Leo are cool.
Yeah.
Like they're older and it's all good. And we're going to reset this right now and say that there is no huge animosity, just like it was like how they really played up in the past bunch of comics. Like, water under the bridge.
So Francisco chimed in with a bit more heft to the issues with the pages and overall issues. Upcoming issues are more noticeable. So so I felt like there was something to them. So thank you for that, Francisco. So in this scene, you for a half second I thought that Leo was talking to a weird looking vampire, like right here, but he's actually that's his hand.
That's his hand on the shadow of his hand.
The shadow looks like his body.
Yeah.
And his hand looks like the face of some weird looking character.
Oh, it's like some Victorian woman in like a black dress or something.
And I'm like, really I have no idea what they find in the sewers.
Who is this?
So Leo's asking Raph, like, hey, isn't Casey supposed to be coming down here and hanging out with you for a bit? And he's like, yeah, after the doctor's appointment or whatever. And and he says he'll be here in a little while. And Leo's like, I hope April gets good news from her doctor. And so they talk about how they actually get
Leo
into it.
looking mad suspicious and mad like on the low when he's some of the art where he's like, she and Casey been trying to have a baby for what, 5 years now? Like it feels like it's very like, oh shit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like
it's
it's normal again.
Yeah. But then and then Raph's like, I don't know, man. Like, do we need another child here again around here? And Leo's like, yeah, man, shut up. Like, you were all gushy whenever Shadow was a kid and everything. And so they're kind of like reminiscing about that. And then they start asking like where everyone else is, because Mikey should be here or around, but he's probably out. Having, it kind of does that thing where they're like, where's Raph? Oh, he's probably out having fun in the first movie, and he's getting his ass kicked while they're talking about he's doing stuff. It's kind of like that. But so it cuts back to Mikey, and he is back in a bed, but like this looks like it's not in the air, or at least as far as I can tell. And so he's like, okay, so he's getting his thoughts, recollecting himself, and he's like, oh man, this bed is pretty comfy, but I can't stay here. I feel like I've been trampled by a dozen triceratons.
That's a good trampling.
It is. And then there's a voice that comes out of the TV screen right by his feet where it says, excuse me, sir, please don't remove your IV without the nurse's help. And we see that it's a person on that screen talking. And they say that the doctor will be in, to see you right away. You need your rest. You really should just return to your bed. Don't be trying to get out. But like, Mikey's just insistent, and understandably so. He's like, I think
he's obviously a lot more calm this time.
Oh,
he's kind of like,
definitely.
He's like, look, like, no offense, like, lady, but like, I'm trying to get back to my crib, bro. Like, I'm out, like,
right. And I love how they handle it too, because the nurse says, okay, well, if you feel like you got to leave, you can check out at the front desk. Your stuff is in the storage closet, and there it is. It's all right there. And I'm like, something about this just feels better, because I felt like so many stereotypes would have been, no, you can't, again, running that whole thing. Like, no, you gotta stay
and he's locked in there, and he's like freaking out, and you're kind of like, yeah, but there's something about the tone here, the shift I really like.
Oh, absolutely. So Mikey gets actually, I don't even think he gets his stuff. Or no, he's holding it. Yeah, that's right. He
does. Yeah. I do like that he says, when he opens up that cabinet, sees the stuff, he says, well, what do you know? At least now I won't feel so naked.
Right.
And that is a direct reference to what I said about men wearing pajama pants in public.
Exactly. Yes. 100%.
So, and thanks for that influence.
Exactly. And the irony is that he the only piece of clothing he would have would be the belt and the bandana, but you get the idea. So
you get the idea.
Yeah. So he's like, something's not right here. This place looks like a hospital, but you'd think a mutant turtle would get more attention. There should be cops and doctors and scientists and press geeks all over the place, but I'm not complaining. He's like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden he sees something, and it kind of explains why. He sees a one-page, well, he doesn't see the one-page splash, but we get a one-page splash of just a room filled with like a person's flying, just weird-looking superhero type alien creatures.
You got all kind of people. All the way on the left, you got freaking Hamburglar's boyfriend. You got fucking I mean the names of, I mean, you got Calipigus Satan checking people out at the counter.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's Aaliyah from that movie she was in, where the only movie she was in on the far left. You got
yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, the guy in the middle, kind of near the planter, that's called his name is Flat Top. No, his name is Thin Crust.
No, Thin Crust is good. I was gonna go with
Thin Crust.
I was gonna go with Bonerang because it looks like it's bones and a boomerang.
Drew said Queen of the Damned, which is, yes, that is the answer for the movie.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
I think I like Thin Crust.
Thin Crust is way better,
but like more understated. Yeah.
But Bonerang, I just wanted to put that out there.
Bonerang's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. What about the guy who's next to Hamburglar's cousin? The guy who's walking to your right.
I feel like there's a superhero that
Call
has
that, like,
that full on
bored
head
Loki?
covering that kind of comes down too, but I can't think
Yeah.
of it to save my life. And I don't think it. Oh, I can't think of it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything for him.
I don't know. I think I call him. You have Loki at home.
Oh, okay, that works. That
The guy. He's the guy who's on the side walking over. Think about the little curl of his helmet or his little hood.
Mm.
The guy who's walking.
Yeah, I just wish I wish
Call
I
me
could
got
think
Loki
of,
at home.
Think of the guy I'm thinking of.
Fucking Drew said the Ribbler.
Yeah,
the ribs,
because he's got the ribs.
The Ribbler.
Oh, that's so good.
All right, Drew, you got that one. That's the Ribbler.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, that's so good.
Okay, the robot that's right up front that has like the bullet hole in him.
Right.
I'm gonna call him the "May I help you" riff. I don't know why. He's just got this face that's like, "May I help you" riff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is.
I was wanting to say C3PO, but I already used that on.
We already used that.
We already used that.
The other guy.
Yeah. And then
what about like the guy? What is that like? Whataburger Sentinel? like who's that guy? Like,
yeah,
it's got to be Whataburger something,
right?
Because that W is like just the Whataburger logo.
Well,
straight up.
It kind of looks like if Zordon had to work at Whataburger, like
yeah, no, it's Whataburger Zoran.
And then
yeah,
this looks like what's that meme with the frog that's kind of racist, El Jefe or whatever?
Or Pepe. It does look like Pepe.
It kind of looks like him a little bit, which is unfortunate. But like if he was like in Battletoads or something, and then here you just have like
Battle Pepe.
Battle Pepe, that works.
Yeah.
What do you think about the flying waitress? Like, or orderly, I should say.
Oh fuck! Drew just said Battle Toad.
That's
Drew, bro. I don't know if you're just like also laying on a couch like we were like 10 years ago, like laying on a couch too full of sweet tea. You've like channeled.
Oh, that's yeah.
Drew, you've somehow channeled the Turtle Soup naming conventions right now, like almost more than we have.
Oh yeah,
Battle Chode is really good.
That is excellent.
Okay. What about the waitress in the air?
I got nothing.
What the fuck is her deal? Or
I was thinking about because she looks like April, so I was gonna say April. She's in the air, but that's so stupid. That's so stupid.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah. I think the only other person we haven't
Drew just called her airbags.
Airbags. Okay, I get it. Yep, no, that works. Jeez.
That's like Drew, you have like a really you're very talented at just naming people crude shit.
Oh yeah,
airbags
it's great.
Is pretty good.
And then I think the only other person we haven't named is the guy talking to Thin Crust.
Talking to Thin Crust back there? Fucking who's he reminds me of somebody. He almost reminds me of the Little Orphan Annie's like guardian. You know the guy who like Mr. Moneybags or JP Moneybags or whatever his name was.
It wasn't her. It wasn't her guardian, but it was the bodyguard, right? Or are you thinking about her Mr. Warbucks, Daddy Warbucks?
Daddy Warbucks. He looks like Daddy Warbucks from the back. A little bit to me. What have you got?
I don't
Drew,
know.
Drew, if you want to go 4 for 4, name the guy who's talking to Thin Crust. Because he does look like like Daddy Warbucks a little bit.
Yeah,
but I feel like Daddy Warbucks is already a funny ass name, but it's just the actual name of a person.
He could be Daddy No Bucks.
Daddy No Bucks. So, I like that. That's good.
So he's trying to.
That's good.
That's why he's trying to get that Thin Crust.
So we got the Hamburglar's cousin, Aaliyah. Is that you can call her Aaliyah or Queen of the Damned or
Queen of the
like
Damned?
That?
Sure, that works.
We've got Loki at home.
No, that's Ribbler.
We got Ribbler. I'm sorry, Ribbler.
Yeah, no, that's Ribbler.
We got Ribbler. We got Thin Crust.
Daddy No Bucks.
Talking to Daddy No Bucks. We've got May I Help You riff.
We got Zordon at Whataburger.
Whataburger Zordon.
And then what'd you call it? Calapigus Satan?
Calapigus Satan, yeah. We've got Battle Chode.
Battle Chode, yeah. airbags.
And then we've got airbags.
So terrible. Oh my god. Dude. Oh, it's so bad. Oh my god, I'm so
Oh. That got me going. Good.
Oh god. Okay, that was worth that was worth everything.
I love naming all the characters.
Oh, I do too. I do too.
This goes back to like Skull Dick Punisher and all that shit,
Skull
dude.
Dick Punisher,
oh my god, I'm crying right
Drew,
now.
thank you so much for your help. That was fantastic. And Francisco, also thank you.
M says he's gonna need a ruling from David on calipiges. Is that calipiges?
Ooh. Okay.
He's basically calling into question. He's challenging the call of calipiges.
That's right.
Looking to appeal to David Crosby.
I gotta touch base with Dad again, because especially on that, because I still don't know if he's fully understood what that means. But yeah, I'll have to hit him up. Ooh. He's on. So he got a mass removed this week from his kidney, and and so yeah, now they got to see if it's cancerous or whatever, because he's tired of my sister getting all the attention. So, but they wrote something on his, like, I don't know, like near his upper crotch, and he's like, I think someone left their phone number, and so he showed me, and like I'm sitting there, and my nieces and nephew are all playing and stuff, and my sister's there, and my mom's there, and he's just on the chair, just shows me that. I'm like, oh. And I was like, oh, I think it just says okay to amputate. And then he goes, it looks like they did. And he pulled it all the way down. And I was like, oh, Dad, no.
Oh my god.
I didn't see anything, so I still don't know his downstairs mix up. But
said, my man. That's what that is.
That's what I should have said. But no.
God damn.
I loved that so much. I don't know how many is this where you take over?
Yeah, around about.
Okay.
So I do want to comment on the Apple Apple Mac Pro, or
yes.
what was, isn't that basically what that, I mean, I know it has like the CPU part, but isn't that like those Apple, what were they called? Were they Apple Pros?
Oh,
they were like translucent, and it was just a monitor, and the computer was in the monitor, and they were translucent, and they just sat there, and you had like a keyboard, and that was it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I just don't remember. I know, and they were Apple, but I don't remember.
Were they called iMacs?
They might have been called iMacs.
But it was like I know iMac later on was another like desktop computer,
right?
But
I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
Micro tower. I think those are the original iMacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That definitely.
I want to call that out. But yeah, there he is. He walks in the whole cast of characters. iMac. Yeah, everyone's saying iMac.
Okay, good.
Yeah, those are boss. So there they are, all there, and he obviously this is like a whole new world. He's like, what the hell? He's like, Thin Crust and all them guys are out here. Holy shit, Ribbler. So he says, what is this place? And this is when a couple hunks and a doctor come out, and hunks or doctor's like, Michelangelo, I'll have to ask you to return to your room immediately. He's like, well, how do you know my name? He's like, oh, I'm Dr. Singh. You really need to get back to bed. He's like, these orderlies will help you. And then that is when, everything was chill.
Everything's chill.
Until Mikey saw the hunks. And he goes, I knew it. A muscle brain goon or two are bound to show up sooner or later. And granted, now they're saying, sir, we're not here to fight you. But look at this guy and look at his face.
Yeah.
Like, the face is like, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to hug you a lot.
Right.
It's like that crazy. It's like fucking what's his name? Lenny and shit. He's got that Lenny look.
Yeah.
And your boy's like, nah, fam. So he takes a cart that was just chilling and shoves it right into your boy's gut. You get a oof, right? And you see his little eyes pop out like, ooh. And this is where he starts wanting to throw hands. They're getting down there. He's like, yeah, you can try, Jarhead. Come on, let's mix it up. And that's when an old friend literally rolls up on us.
Oh, yeah.
And it is Pat, a.k.a. Zippy Lad.
Yeah.
From issue 15 from the Justice Force.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit, Zippy Lad.
Zippy Lad.
If you haven't heard this episode yet or gone back that far, Metalhead earlier was a member of Justice Force who's in issue 1 hanging out with your girl. Shadow, and this is another member of Justice Force, Zippy Lad. So the whole thing about Zippy Lad is, the whole thing about Justice Force is That's where like our whole dome inside a dome inside a dome, and like, do you see the age that lines my face, Bernice? And
Right.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
that episode is a
It was
classic, but
rife with good stuff. Yeah.
it was. But like, the whole thing is they're a little bit like the Watchmen, kind of like
Hmm.
they're a retired superhero squad. But back in the day, the cotton was high and they were like the shit. But now
Hmm.
they're all older and they had like internal strife, break the team up.
Yeah.
Zippy Lab was a really cool case because um he is old. He had basically Speed Force. But unlike the Flash, he wasn't physically protected from the effects of Speed
Right.
Force. So he used it so much that he like destroyed his like legs, more or less. Like
Yes.
the tendons, the bones, the joints. I mean, they just got fucked
Right.
from doing stuff. So like, it's almost like it's interesting
It is.
because that's another thing that they kind of share with the Flaming Carrot and stuff, where
Mm.
like there's this like love of like creating these like kind of somewhat aborted superheroes,
Yeah.
like superheroes that have a power, but either it's useless or causes them great bodily harm
Right.
to do it because they're not superhuman
Yeah. They
physically. They're
just
not
have a
transhuman
superpower.
physically.
Right.
They're super powered. So imagine if you were like Superman and you could lift a car, but it broke your arms. It's
Right.
basically what like he's got.
But
So he wore his legs out.
but what I love about him, and you're probably about to say this, is that he can still use his speed abilities, but with his arms.
Yeah. So his arms, I guess, are more like suited for it. So because he wore his legs out, he can make his chair
Right.
haul ass, and he can make the chair vibrate and vibrate through stuff like
Right.
Speed Force.
And I think that's
So
really cool.
it's super cool. Maybe that is just more sustainable. Maybe he should have figured that out when he was younger
Yeah,
and
you
been
would
like,
think.
"Oh, I can do all this." Basically, like I'm first sitting in a chair, so that he'd have his legs for later. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like run that Charles Xavier plan now, so you can stroll as an old man later. But he
Mm.
didn't do that. But he rolls up, and this instantly calms Mikey down. Mikey's like, "Zippy, like Pat, what the fuck?" And
Right.
he's like, "Well, yeah, good thing you weren't scrambled enough not to recognize me. Good to see you, buddy." And we do get the editor's note, which I know Eric and I are huge fans of.
Oh yeah.
Pat, aka Zippy Lad, we met the Turtles in issue number 15 of the original TMNT series. Love that dig back into that time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Dr. Singh is like, sir, and he calls Zippy Lad sir. He's like, sir, if you could convince your friend to return to his room, he's like, yeah, no sweat, doc. I'll take it. Like, I'll walk with him. It's all good.
Yeah.
And they're walking, and there's a lot of dialogue. I'm going to kind of shorten it up for y'all. He introduces this place as Kurtzberg Memorial Hospital. And I love this page right here, page 15, where he says only one of 3 facilities of its kind in the world devoted solely to the healthcare of super beings, mutants, and other special cases like you. And there is some kind of superhero
Right.
that has what looks like a surface to surface missile stuck in his abdomen
Yeah.
that is still smoking from like the exhaust like jet like out the back. He's like, oh shit. And there's a doctor with a clipboard like looking like, oh man, we gotta take care of this. I just love that. That's such a great way to introduce the idea of like, no, this is where superheroes go. Because like, who's gonna deal with an active warhead inside someone's body? I don't know. But it would be, it'd be Kurtzberg Memorial Hospital. That's who'd fix that. And then he's like, and Mike says, okay, I'm sure there's a why part of this explanation. So he basically says that imagine all the fuss and bother that a costume hero would create if he or she got hurt and ended up in a regular hospital. And I love that. Because he goes on to basically say, yeah, like if that person, so if someone with super powered abilities or a mutant or somebody were to go to a regular hospital, number one, they'd have no way to treat this person.
Mm-hmm.
They would know nothing about their treatment or anything like that. They'd have to figure out how to treat this guy, and he may die. Also, there's police, the military, scientists. We don't want that. He's like, not to mention the secret identity part of shit, where like, Peter Parker goes and they've got to like medvac, like medic, like cut off, like triage, cut off his suit to save his life,
Right.
And there goes Peter Parker, like out in the open, like, give me pictures of Spider-Man. Well, there we go. So yeah, so and Mike agrees. He's like, yeah, I'd probably end up in some special zoo's infirmary. He's like, Dad, if you're lucky. So he basically introduced the idea, and the last thing he says is, "Who?" Mike says, "Well, so who's Kurtzberg?" He says, "A great man, a visionary. Some of the super types call him the father of us all. He foresaw the need for this kind of facility, and with some of his key philanthropic help, he was able to get this place started. And we found out that, it's a need-to-know basis. So basically, you find out about Kurtzberg when you're injured in public, and they notice that you're a mutant, and they grab you."
Right.
And that's how you become a member. I guess it's word of mouth too. Like if you're a member of, like, I don't know, the Justice League, like Superman winds up in there, he'd tell like Wonder Woman, the Flash, like he would tell them like, hey, there's a place here, or whatever.
And I kind of like that because this whole thing kind of reminds me of a little bit of the Image run that I actually really enjoyed, was the community and the all the facilities dedicated to superhero activity and stuff like that. But one thing I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the shadow that is being drawn on Michelangelo from like his head on his chest? Because it keeps looking to me like he's wearing a bow tie, and then I have to remind myself that no, that's the shadow of his head. The like, I'm like, it feels unnecessary.
That first panel where you see Calipigis airbags up there again flying around, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it's somebody else. There's so many flying characters, you have no idea. But it does look like a little bow tie. The rest of the time, it didn't bother me.
Okay.
I actually really like the inking work in this area. And I'll say it because I think so much more attention is paid to detail because they're in a medical facility where it's like fluorescent lights, like hard light coming down.
I gotcha. Yeah.
I think it's supposed to show that they're in this like brightly lit area.
Okay.
So everything's basically light or shadow. Everything's very, very contrary. Yeah. But no, I feel you. The first time it does look a little bit like a bow tie.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. I didn't even notice a lot of the shadowing until you talked about it. But I think that is the point. There's no diffuse shadow either. It's just hard or it's not there.
Right.
Yeah. So he kind of comes back to bed, back to his room, as he's being explained all this. And that's where Zippy tells him that he's on the board of directors. And that he just happened to be at the building for a budget meeting when he heard that Mikey had been struck down. And then he basically told them everything that they needed to know, or what he knew about him. Like, he's a mutant, he's a turtle, he's cold-blooded. Like, all this stuff that Zippy Lab was able to just pick up about him that helped them show up and triage him.
Yeah.
Also, something about the flying ambulance reminds me a lot of in like Cyberpunk or God, I'm blanking on the name of the original role-playing game. It's not Netrunner. It's either way. They have those medevac units in the game where and in the role-playing game for a long time. Game's called Shadow something. That's messed up that I don't remember that shit. That is so messed up. Shadowrun. So they have basically dock wagons that come out, and they are a flying. Yeah, thanks, John. Shadowrun. They're a flying ambulance, but you can pay to have a membership to this fucking thing.
Oh,
and when they show up armed. Like, they come and get you out of shit. So, like, let's say we're in a gang fight and I've got the doc membership, the trauma doc thing.
Yeah.
I have a sensor in me. When I get shot, they come. Their response time it's so funny. In the RPG, they have like different like levels of the trauma doc you can like buy, and it costs you like so much credits, like a month or whatever. And like, if you're really into that part of the DM game, you can like make them have to pay it and shit, or it bounces and they don't have it.
Yeah.
But you get shot down. They come in this basically the same thing they got Mikey down there. 4 guys with guns like coming out the side doors. They will neutralize anyone who gets in the way, get you and grab you and take you away.
Oh.
Yeah. He says platinum dock wagon or go home. Yes, because you only get like the platinum treatment is where they come in like that. Like, they will neutralize anyone. and bring you up.
Yeah.
In the opening of Cyberpunk, there's a really cool scene that it's the same in any narrative that you choose, where you find a woman and she was in a tub of ice. And I guess someone had disabled her dock wagon like chip or something.
Yeah.
So when you pull her out of the ice, it warms it up, and all of a sudden, like, it gets activated, and you have to be very careful. You have to like carry her outside to this like porch thing and like lay her down, and they show up with the guns, like, step back, and like they all come out, and you're like level 1. You have like a little pistol, and like if you try to do anything, they'll kill you. Anyway, that's what this reminds me a lot of, and I love that. I love the dock wagon whole thing, because that's what it feels like. It feels like if you're struck down as a superhero and you're you're in their system, like, they're gonna come for you.
Right.
And that is super fucking cool. And the fact that they've done all this world building around Zippy Lad being involved, I love it.
Oh, me too.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he says he also vouched for him.
Yeah.
Which is important because there is a secrecy. So he's like, Mikey and his brothers are cool. They're my friends. I vouch for them. Which could be another way that only way you can get Kurtzfield help.
Could be.
Is if you are vouched for, which is pretty crazy.
But the only thing that's weird to me is that if you have a whole hospital dedicated to superhumans and taking care of them, then why are the turtles so worried about being found out if there's enough of them to where I get that there's 3 of these hospitals, and I get that like that it's secret.
Probably on different like continents.
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine there's like the Asian one, the North American one, and like the European one or something. And that's the 3, you know?
Yeah. I guess at that point still, I think that the super heroics would be so, someone would found out. I don't know. Maybe it's just, I'm just picking it apart a little bit too much, but it just seems like a little bit unfounded to be still so worried about, being out. But what do I know? So
yeah, I think it's interesting. I think there's like a very good way, because the TMNT they've interacted mainly in Image, which is no longer canon, with other superheroes. But normally, it's like nobody's off the path. And he's just a man.
Yeah,
so like, he's not going to go to Kurtzberg.
Yeah.
Who else? Like in main Mirage timeline, like who else would they even know that would know about Kurtzberg?
Right.
Like,
but now they've got so many.
Leatherhead wouldn't know about Kurtzberg.
No. But
like,
yeah, I don't know.
The Justice Force. That's the only people I could think that they would even know that would know about Kurtzberg.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is that now we have Magnarok, who picked up Mikey. We have we have Thin Crust and all the guys we just named. So like
all
airbags
these people, and all them.
Yeah, like
okay. So you're saying like, so in the past, in the 15 years that like when a turtle's gotten their dick knocked in the dirt, why didn't Kurtzberg like show up then?
No. It really only has to do with the fact that like the only reason I'm bringing that up is because it's like that someone saw so much of a need for that they built this hospital thing. But like that would mean that there would have to be enough superheroes,
a ton of superheroes
and mutants and things like that to warrant it. And if that's the case, then why are the turtles still kind of like nervous about, like, as nervous as what they are? I don't know. Maybe they'll explain.
About being caught and being like captured or by the government or something like that.
Yeah. I can understand having some apprehension, but at the same time, it's like it just seems a little like disconnected. Like it I don't know.
I understand. So you're kind of taking it from almost like a writing standpoint. Like,
right.
This almost feels like a retcon to you. Almost like, well, we had thought in the Turtles universe, the only heroes that we really met were like the Justice Force, and they were kind of weird and like old. And then really it was like nobody. And then Casey's a vigilante. Nobody's a vigilante. Yeah. Baxter is a very fucked up villain.
Android person.
Android villain. And that's kind of who we're talking about. And like Triceratons, like that's kind of like our main. Utrom and Triceratons. And they're also
Leatherhead. Yeah. That's about it.
Leatherhead, like these are our guys. So everywhere else in the world, there's heroes enough to have Kurtzberg be a thing, but we never saw that in Mirage before.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. But, yeah. Yeah. I mean,
anyway.
we can go on forever about it because I could defend it and say like, well, the Turtles have always felt insular.
Sure.
Like they've never reached out to those people.
Yeah.
But you think if they're in New York and there's not like where are all these other heroes at? Because a lot of times they're in big cities.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
So why are none of them in New York where they would know about them?
Where
but,
an Angel Man just flew and saved.
An Angel Man did it. Angel Man figured it out.
Even if it's folklore, even if it's like, cryptids or whatever, it feels like it would be something else. But I don't know.
Yeah, we maybe we keep reading because we might they might explain this.
They might
like later in issues and different issues and stuff.
Yeah,
like maybe this is just the beginning of this. Yeah. So Zippy Lad's on the board of directors. Vouch for Mikey, said y'all are good, and then he tells him he got hit by a bus, but he's okay because the shell took most of the impact. And then that's where Mikey's like, I don't even remember getting hit by the bus. I just remember falling on my ass.
Right.
He's like, well, that's why you need some damn rest. Get out of here. And he's like, all right, thanks, Pat. And he's settling into sleep. You know, he's like, all right, man. Like I trust everybody here. I'm down with Pat. Like it's all good. So this part's really fun. This guy, kind of the end of the comic here. So, Donnie gets home. Remember, Donnie crashed his damn not his snowmobile, one of the militia.
Yeah,
militias or militias. Manhattan militias. Snowmobiles into a wall that revealed an armored truck or something. Well, he's just returned from that whole shit. Yeah. And he's about to shake this whole jam up. So he gets there and some time has passed because Casey's there now. And Leo's not really in the room totally. Like Leo's somewhere else. And him and Casey are Raph and Casey are hanging out. He comes in, he's like, yo, I found some shit. And they're like, well, okay, LOL nerd. And he's like, nah, man, Casey's gonna be about this shit. And he's like, wait a minute. He's like, would you believe I found a 1970s vintage armored car? And of course, like Casey's like, son of a bitch, I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. He's in. And then Raph's a little bit because he's just feeling lazy. Like he just got warmed up because they turned the heater up and shit. So like I like the commitment to the gag that Raph got too cold and he's being annoying. Right. And he's kind of being a baby. Yeah. He's kind of like now he's slouching in the seat and he's kind of like, what? Like that's some nerd shit. Oh, it's some cool shit. Why y'all even want to go out there? In case he's like, I told you I'm in. That's an old car, bro. I'm in. So Donnie takes control. He's like, hey, Casey, you grab your old toolbox. I'm gonna run and grab some other stuff. Raph, get a can we can fill with some fresh diesel so we can try to power this thing up. And Raph's like, I just got warmed up. And then literally, your boy Casey goes, wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
Come on, you big wuss. This will be fun. So, it's a mystery, an adventure. And he grabs his toolbox from some cool ass, like little hideaway thing in the ground. But then importantly, he says, and this is a thought bubble, not to mention it will take my mind off April's problems for a little bit. Now, we've gotten no answer, like formally. And maybe we're led to believe that Casey showed up and it was just Raph and he just didn't want to talk about it. And so they're just not talking about it. But he definitely has that thought. So the story is reminding us that April's thing is still a thing.
Yeah. It kind of hit me a little weird that it's April's problem, but problems the way it's not their problems, but I guess that's just
that's how Casey would think of it, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how Casey would think
I got to consider the source. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but, yeah.
It's totally in Casey's like playbook to like detach himself from it, like as a defense mechanism. Being like, oh, it's problems with April's body because he's having a hard time. I mean, we could talk about this for another 2 hours about how Casey mentally has to be so messed up about Gabriella and Shadow, and then he tried to have a baby with April for like 5 years. They've been trying, and then kind of like you don't know if they got pregnant and there's a problem, or if like they're thinking that maybe the fertility issues are on April's side, which could also tell him it's April's problems,
Right.
but it is beyond my it is not beyond any kind of reasonable thinking that he has detached from it, and it's April's problems.
Yeah.
But it is Casey, and that is part of what you deal with him. Again, and I love this when you're back in Mirage, where like Casey's an actual character.
Yeah.
That is an actual human. This is what he does. But I do agree, calling it April's problems is a little rough. So yeah, then here comes your boy Leo with a sandwich. It's like, hey, where y'all going? They're like, nah, just doing some archaeology later, bro. And he's like, well, at least I can watch Junkyard Wars in peace. And he's got a little sandwich. And he's like, I don't give a shit. I like this tone they're setting of the turtles doing their own thing.
I do too.
Like they just seem so much more mature.
They do
now.
Yeah.
In a and I know that in Image that the idea was that they're more mature, they're more grown up. But they
still had that angsty teenager-ness to them.
They did a lot of like, yes, it was very like edgelord kind of bullshit they were up to. Here it's more like, no, we're cool, man. It almost feels like instead of being teenagers, and then it feels like in Image they were like in their early 20s being assholes. It feels like now everybody's like 24, 25, and they're just chill. Like they just do their thing now. So it's pretty cool. So so they're running there, and Donnie's like, yeah, so when the smoke cleared, there was a big hole inside, and there it was. and they're like, all right, like, how did it get in here? And he's like, I don't know. Someone probably drove it in there and then like walled it up. It's been sitting there all these years. And the writing is so great because like that's how I read it in my head, is that like Donnie's just like going on and on. And they're like barely able to get like a question in. Like, but how's that possible? I don't know. Probably somebody drove it in there before it was completely abandoned, and then they built a wall, and then they got out, and then Casey kind of stopped saying, you know what? That reminds me of like a bank robbery I heard about a while, like when I was a kid, that like they a bank truck was stolen and they never found it or something, and they're like, maybe that's what it is, bro. Huh?
Right.
So they go down there and they get in there. And there it is. It's this full-on armored truck with like flattened tires. It's been there forever, and they're just kind of like looking around it and investigating it. So this is pretty metal. So Donnie goes to look under the hood, and tells Raph like, yeah, open it up, man. Because I feel like Donnie's definitely doing this cool thing where he's kind of like letting Raph make all the discoveries. Like, all he wants to do is get it running mechanically. Right. But he's like, oh, the windows are too dirty, bro. Open it up. See what's going on. You know? Well, your boy opens this shit up and he finds the Emperor on his golden throne. No shit. That's some 40K shit. This dude's just dead in the passenger seat. Burn up like a dang old piece of toast. Bones, bro. Like spider webs and gore having melded him partially to the seat. It is like insanity. I can tell you these guys are probably so decayed. You ever hear that whole thing where like people say that when you go down into like the Egyptian crypts, especially when they first went down there, that it just smelled like cinnamon?
No, I didn't hear about that.
And the idea was that like all the archaeologists that went down in there before it was open to much air said that all the mummies smelled like it was just like cinnamon. It wasn't a bad smell. It just smelled like someone had just like put like cinnamon in the air.
Interesting.
And that was just some byproduct of like the mummification process and how long it had been down there and stuff. It didn't smell bad at all. And that's what I imagine this smells like. Yeah. I imagine like it's been in there for so many decades and so long. They open it up and it's just dry and kind of a cinnamon smell in the air. And that's all it is.
I like that.
Because they don't seem like no one's like running to throw up or anything. So I feel like it's.
You have to remember that these are people who live in the sewers pretty regularly.
No, you're right.
But I get your point. Right. I get your point. But still,
you're right. So Raph says, "Man, I don't know if these are the robbers, but if they are, something tells me they never got to enjoy the fruits of their labor." And then it cuts over to an awesome panel of the driver, who's like heads up against the steering wheel, and again, just completely mummified.
Yep.
So again, not too disturbed by that. They start looking at the engine bay, and Donnie's talking about, oh, the battery's shot. I gotta get a new battery. But we can do this. And he's like, bro, I love this. This is that brother shit. He's like, did you check the back out?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, nah, I figured you'd want to do that. And he's like, by all means, bro. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, oh,
Yeah,
hell
just go
yeah.
look. Yeah, sure.
So no, it's just really neat. So he
Mm-hmm.
goes in there and he sees like that there's bullet holes in the back, like they were shot at, like when they were escaping.
Yeah.
Open it up, and you've got. Describe this guy for me.
He looks like a pimp that has a peace sign necklace. He's got the pimp hat with the feather in it. He's got just like an open, like he's got a jacket on, but then a open button shirt that
like it's open and really big lapels, like really big lapels, like it's the 70s almost.
Oh yeah,
like really big lapels.
Definitely looks like a
really
70s
big
pimp.
hat.
Has a gun. There's a lot of money around, like stacks of money. Yeah. So this seems like this is probably what Casey was talking about.
Yeah. And then he says, I guess Disco really is dead. That's Casey's reaction to this dead body. And then
that's great.
This is probably exactly what I would say. Donnie goes, this is extremely wild. Because I feel like if I'm not allowing myself to curse,
right?
But I'm always like, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's like all I say. I'm like, that's wild.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're like, now what? And Casey's like, I don't know. And he's like, okay. So then again, Don goes into the plan. All right, Casey, come with me. We're gonna get some cleaning stuff and get some batteries and stuff, and we're out. And they're like, Raph's like, what about me? He's like, you stay here and watch, and you keep an eye on this shit. And then he's like, oh, with the dead guys, cool. And he's just sitting there. So back at the farmhouse, Splinter is, Shadow's gonna hop on her dirt bike that we understand that has snow tires, studded tires on it. So we know that she's being safe. She has her helmet on. And Splinter's just worrying over her, like, oh, don't go too fast, be careful, child. Even with your studded tires, the trail is slippery, and all this stuff. And she's like, I got it, Splinter. It's all good. And leaving away, she does say, geez, I love him dearly, but he's such a mother hen, drives me crazy sometimes. Ever since the turtles left, he's had a lot of time to fill. Still, it's nice to know he cares. And so a little bit of exposition there about how the turtles have been in New York, and Splinter's just been dawdling around the house with Shadow, just being like, oh, don't stay up past 10 o'clock. And she's like, okay. So she's biking on this trail, and she sees a guy up there, and she says, there's Jay, right on time. Gets off the bike, and they quickly embrace. And it turns out Jay is Shadow's boyfriend. He's got a little jacket on, he's got his jeans. He's got some glasses, I need to see what this Jay's made of first before he can date my Shadow. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a strong jaw, though.
Are you gonna make an honest woman out of her? Like, what's the story? You know what I mean? Like, now what I will say about Jay is he does not look like the kind of guy that wear pajama pants in public. He's got those jeans on, that leather jacket. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like looking sharp, Jay. I will give him that.
Oh yeah. Meeting a girl in the woods, you can't be wearing pajama pants.
Pajama pants. No. Yeah, fuck out. She just kept riding.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like she just went invisible. So they're trying to figure out something to do because they're here to hang out. She wants to go by the old farmhouse and start a fire, but they did mention that like the last time they did that in the chimney, like was smoking, someone called the cops. And then she says, yeah, my dad got that sorted out. Shouldn't happen again. Which you feel like Casey just went down to wherever this was and was like, what the fuck? And just like completely like straighten somebody out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I have a better idea. Let's go to your house so I can finally meet this famously reclusive grandfather of yours. And she's like, he doesn't really like visitors from strangers. And, Jay at this point is like, bro, kind of what's up? Because all you do is talk about your grandfather, but like, you ain't take me to meet him yet. Like, are you ashamed of me kind of shit? It's like, no, it's not that. It's just that, it's just not the right time. And he's like, all right, I'll be patient. It's all good. And they take off. Speaking of taking off, we close with the Utroms in orbit of the moon with several what almost look like space tugs, like kind of like floating around this like kind of citadel looking thing they've been building on the moon surface. They say, all grab tugs in position, base reports all equipment locked down, and all hatches sealed, ready to initiate lift mode. And they do it. And this thing like shoots out some old dirty insulin, and it
Mhm.
flies out of a crater in the moon, and now it's being controlled by these space tugs, and now it's like a cylinder, like a
Yeah.
gigantic ass cylinder.
So the top of this thing is what I think we were seeing in issue 1.
Yeah. That looked more like a moon base. It looked
Yeah.
like a thing you built in a crater on the moon to be like an above ground base on the moon.
Right.
Like did not look
that's what
like
I was
this.
thinking. I did not anticipate it being an actual like container of sorts.
The shape of this thing reminds me a lot of the book, the Arthur C. Clarke book called Rendezvous with Rama.
Okay.
And it's interesting. These I'm not gonna go on forever. These space explorers find a huge cylinder, and when I say huge, it is like a gigantic cylinder. It's hard to even imagine how big it is.
Okay.
When they land in it, it's basically like the Citadel from Mass Effect.
Okay.
You know how it's like round?
Yeah.
Like it's like a cylinder. Well, imagine if that was way fucking bigger.
Okay.
Like it's just way bigger.
Yeah.
And it's got all these like little buildings all around it. And they're all just like almost like the surface of that. They look like buildings, but they have no windows, no doors, no nothing. It's just like a form, almost like somebody made out of like shrink plastic, and there's just nothing to it.
Yeah.
And it's obviously city and city and city blocks, like large, this thing.
Right.
And then it starts to wake up, and it's really cool. But when I saw this cylinder, I was kind of like, oh, that's like Rendezvous with Rama. I don't even know what's in that fucking thing. All I know is it says separation accomplished, prepare for phase 2 to be continued.
Right. And then we get our preview of the next issue, which looks like Donatello working on the armored car. So
it looks like there's
cool.
like that's like a leaf spring and a brake system.
Yeah.
Like some stuff like there he's kind of down in them guts. So really cool. Turtle Tracks is back. Okay, this is important. This is not a big deal. I'm not going to read letters like we used to back in the day. If you want to read this, it is a font of information. I read it. There's something to be said for everything because they respond to these longtime fans that are writing. He says, as another nod to the good old days, I've decided to headline this inaugural letters page for the new TMNT book with the old Turtle Tracks logo that Kevin and I started using with issue 2 of the original Mirage series. So it's basically like he says, issue number 2, then issue 2 now. Huh. Yeah. So that is original Turtle Tracks headline right there.
That's cute. I like it.
I won't read all this to you, but the first letter is from Michelle Ivy. So she has a half a page long letter welcoming them back, and it's really cool, that she that she is the first letter in this issue from her website tmntfans.com, and that's her. Also, and again, read through this because there's just a lot of cool incidental knowledge in here. Here's what's really neat though. In the back, there's some news. So to paraphrase, basically, issue number 1 sold out of its first print. And Kevin or Peter's just thanking everybody that was awesome, and that all their comics, basically all their distributors distributed all the issues, and they all sold out, and all the comic book stores are like, printing 2, please.
Right.
And he's like, that is sick. Like, thank you so much for buying this comic and everything.
Yeah.
There is a Steve Murphy returns to comics. Pretty cool. That Puma Blues is coming back. And then here you go. You might be wondering what the heck that thing is in the photographic background behind the credits and indicia. Man, you got me with a word, boy. I don't even know what that word is. On the inside front cover of this issue. Well, it's a detail of a 10-inch wide ceramic dinner plate upon which I painted a black and white image of Donatello and had it fired and coated with a clear glaze and fired again, all at a cool place called Claytopia in downtown Northampton, Massachusetts. And he goes on to say how cool it is because, okay, now this is pretty advanced. Your boy's like, he basically just found like you do the dishes, like that kind of he like
Right.
this place was one of those like where you could do your own pottery.
Yeah.
Like you could like paint your own pottery and they would like fire it for you and you come in. But it's like he just found this.
Yeah.
But this is like back in the day. This is 2002.
Yeah.
I don't know if we had anything like that for like a really
sure.
long time.
Yeah. At least not to like that big of a like in the zeitgeist where you just knew that those places existed.
But yeah, like he let me see here. It's just kind of cute because he shouts out Claytopia. He wants you to know Claytopia is awesome. You should go there. But he just talks about like how much fun he's having with that. And then he's basically saying that yeah, he made a similar plate with Leonardo for Christmas for his brother Bruce, who's a huge TMNT fan. And I just did a large coffee mug with all 4 turtles on it for myself.
That's awesome.
And that's it. Yeah, so it's cool. So there's a lot of letters with a lot of good info, and then kind of an in section where they print a lot of news and just a lot of just I don't know, just like love for everybody. They mentioned here under more bang for your buck that the next issue, TMNT number 3, is a whopping 48 pages.
Jeez.
The book will be 56 pages with ads, letter pages, etc. But we're not upping the cover price.
Dang.
It's going to stay at $2.95. That's approximately a measly 6 cents a page. And he's basically saying, yeah, like we're giving you more for less.
Right.
Like, and that's one of the things, basically almost like, thank you for buying the book. We're making the books better for the same price, which is awesome. And really it kind of echoes again that like independent mentality that they had. Like they were always concerned about the cover price in past letter sections. Oh my God. Remember how they go on and on about like, you know, people say comics cost too much, but like, let me explain to you what the hell it takes to make a comic book. Remember that?
Yeah.
They defend it. Like, do you want the artists and everybody and the writers to make a living wage or what? Basically. Like, where else can you get lovingly drawn and colored and written stories every 2 weeks? Like, who does that? We do that, you know? So anyway, yeah. And but that's yes. And then this
at the end
says these are the actual hands of Mike Dooney as he pretends to work on his color rough for the painting he will do for the cover of TMNT 3. And that's him doing like a little colored pencil version of the big thing he's going to do for the cover of the next issue.
Right.
That's cool as hell.
Oh, that's like, absolutely cool.
I love this. Like Peter, it just feels like Peter is like getting back into really running Mirage Comics and like as a studio, and he's just like nerding out. Like he's just like, oh fuck yeah! Like here's all the letters with the original Turtle Tracks logo, bro. Here's like all this random news about what we're up to. Here's how we're making a better comic for the same price. Here's like a behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's fallen back in love with the whole thing.
Yeah, and being open and being independent and like showing Michael Dooney doing a rough color. Like that's just cool as hell. Like and the plate, the stupid ass like Donatello plate. It's like yes, like you see it at the beginning. It's like oh no, let me tell you about this place called Claytopia. It's really cool. And you're like yeah, I love this.
No, I totally do too. Yeah, and I love this issue. It kept moving. It felt a little weird at first, but I love that it, like I said earlier, that it didn't necessarily play too hard into the tropes of superhero or main character wakes up in a hospital, freaks out, goes and runs. You know, it didn't lean too much into it. But
I love it because it wanted you to. Like it subverted the expectation by giving you the expectation, then subverting it.
Exactly. Yeah, and I appreciated that. And then absolutely still love all the world building with the with Zippy Lad and all of that. I think that's fantastic. And I'm very much like into this story. Like I want to know how we got to where we're at. I want to know like what we're gonna do with that van. Like I'm excited to see what Donnie's gonna get into. Just I don't know, and I'm excited about like where Mikey's gonna go from here, like how like what he's gonna do and how this is gonna all tie into everything. Yeah, no. So there's a lot to this that I'm like really looking forward to.
Yeah. No. Great. It's great. It's Mirage. It's a Mirage back. It's so cool. Yeah, that's yeah, no, that's really good. I can't wait to read issue 3. Like I said, Eric and I have talked about maybe doubling up to get through some of this a little quicker. Because it seems like if we don't stop and talk about dudes in pajama pants for 30
Right.
minutes, that like we probably could knock out 2 issues of the comic
Yeah,
in one episode.
with the exception of next episode is going to be 48 pages, so we might not better do it next episode. We might have
Yeah.
to, just keep it
That
running.
yeah.
'Cause that
Maybe
could
we
change
need to
everything.
wait to you're not getting so much bang for your buck. You know what I'm saying? So it's considerably less bang for the
Less
buck
bang,
than
less
we
bang.
can do double.
Right.
Uh,
But
all right. Well, yeah.
yeah. Well, what did y'all think? Let us know in the
Let us know,
comments,
boys.
and you can email us at turtlesoupshow@gmail.com, where you can send us voicemails if you'd like to as well. We haven't done those in a while. Also, you can find us on the home of the internet, turtlesoupshow.com.
Yeah.
That's where we have all our episodes up there and all that fun stuff. Also, anywhere podcasts are listened to, or you can find them. I think we got the Spotify thing fixed, and everything else should be good. So if you can't find us somewhere, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, and be sure to tell your friends that listen to podcasts that, hey, there's some turtle boys that ain't cutting no slack, especially on pajama pants. Ain't no slack at all. And then yeah, you can find us on all the socials, I think, or at least the ones that matter. And yeah, we're also on here on YouTube. So if you're here joining us now and you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. That really
We are
goes a long way.
7 subscribers short of 500. Y'all gotta just, if you're on the audio, I know it. You're like, another app. I gotta go to another place. Do this for your boys on the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, do this because, like, what was the new thing we talked about? We got to be careful with our language about unaliving, but we used to talk about the cord from the fan, and then we changed it.
Oh, I forget.
Do you remember this?
I do.
We changed
but I can't remember it now.
another thing, and we were like, "Oh no, this is the new version of that."
Right. Jeez, I don't remember. I think
but whatever it is, you know that these two guys have been on a journey forever. We love you. We love you so much. So come over and give us some subs so we can get up to 500 and comment and have a good time. Email us again, and we love you, and you're all fantastic.
Yes, and then if you want to be even more fantastic, you can go over to Patreon, find Turtle Soup's Done Been Making a Podcast for a long time, and you can throw some pennies our way for some different things. I'm probably going to double ship the rewards from last year because I've gotten behind. So I've got the shirts made. I sent Ryan a few of them, the designs that I had that are pretty funny, and I'm pretty proud of them.
It's pretty good. You're
and then I ran out of button material or magnet material, so I had to reorder those, and those just came in. So like I'm getting on it.
Okay.
But thank you to our patrons who've been supporting us and all that. We really appreciate it. And yeah, if you'd like to do that, again, patreon.com. It means a lot, and it keeps us from saying clang. And so yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight. So until next time, else time.
Else time.
And we're back. Sort of. I'm here somewhere. I gotta fix myself.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's pretty great. M talking about his Shadowrun campaign where he basically hacked Dockwagon and then started his own knockoff Dockwagon called Healers R Us, and then just hacked their system and basically undershot them on price and made a bunch of money.
That's fantastic.
That's brilliant. There was one of my friends. He had a game group of Shadowrun that they just got into day trading.
Okay.
And like they basically were like, how far will the GM go? Like, well, like and basically, yeah, like they were like, we're gonna get into day trading and make a bunch of money to fund our gang. And they spent basically like almost a year of like game time, like like RPG, like a year, where
Yeah.
they did little stuff, but they mainly went to work. And
Okay.
their GM made like a spreadsheet
Yeah.
and actually used, I think it was like historical market data
Okay.
from like random markets to influence where the markets would go. Like he got as nerdy as they did.
That's way
And
too
they
much.
basically were trading stock and day trading like currency and stuff. And the GM was using real historical market data, and they figured out like how to make money. And then they basically played the game for a year, and then they had like 1 billion credits. Then they basically got funded the fuck up. Like they made this like unbeatable squad
Yeah.
and went out and did the real shit. But it was a year of day trading.
Okay. That's wild.
And I heard that story from my buddy. I'm like, that is like epic as fuck. So
Man.
good.
Well, goodness.
So what do we think? I want to thank everybody who was in the chat and commenting.
Yeah,
It was great to see everybody again.
That was wonderful.
Some people that we that are somewhat new, I don't recognize the name of, but also classics. John Clemens, Nick Douglas, Francisco, of course. Drew was cracking us up. Like,
oh, Austin, hey,
just
nothing's going on. Just doing a podcast.
Do you know Austin?
Yeah, he asked. He said, hey, and what's going on?
No, what's going on?
But I think he was doing it like Four Non Blondes.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of the thing. But yeah, it's been good to be back live and be back with you guys. So if you forget, this is the part where we all try to name the episode together.
Yeah. So chime in. Yeah. We did talk about hot chocolate.
We did. We had some pretty funny names for those people in the hospital. That was really funny.
That was great.
The hot chocolate was good.
What if we just called it hot chocolate recipes? What if we just called it that? And that's just what it says on the
hot chocolate recipes?
Yeah, because it sounds kind of weird. But
it does.
I'm just throwing them out there. I mean, I'm not saying they're great ideas. I mean,
no, that sounds messed up.
Oh,
I was just thinking that we were talking about hot chocolate and we're talking about the calipidges. So I was like, what if we called it gyat chocolate?
Oh my goodness gracious!
But then the problem is gyat chocolate sounds like something else.
It does sound like something else. Yeah, so
that's
probably
not funny.
Probably best to not.
No, especially with your sense of humor. Just take that one right out the bank.
Yeah. But yeah. There was so what was it? Bonerang or thin crust?
Oh, Bonerang or thin crust.
But the Ribbler is just so much fun to say.
The Ribbler got me pretty good, and airbags fucking destroyed me. Like there's something about there's something about how fucking crude it is that is fucking hilarious to me. It's like
it's so
it's like ironically so fucking crude.
it's like the same thing is super or is Power Woman's like hole in her chest, like in her costume, is like how blatant that is and like how just gratuitous that is. Like that's the audio form naming convention. Like
yes, that's the visual form of airbags.
Right. Yeah. It's just ridiculous. But yeah,
Battle Chode. That was another good one.
Oh, that was great too. Man.
Also, this is episode 333, which is weird.
That is 333 of these things. Technically 34, but you know,
we're a third of the way to 1,000, buddy.
Oh man, we're almost there. Yep. Yeah. Jeez. Oh, you never explained what Minecraft cigarettes were.
Minecraft cigarettes. Okay. So this is a quick little jump. I'll really try to make this short. So I got a vacuum sealer recently because I've become obsessed with vacuum sealing things for the apocalypse, or for some kind of like disaster. Also, I was able to build the pillars for buying it because I was like, number one, good way to preserve things for if shit hits the fan. Number two, good way to preserve leftovers and stuff. And number three, good. So, and you can also freeze things a lot easier if it's vacuum sealed.
Right.
because you vacuum seal, say, meat, for example, and what you do is normally is you throw it in a Ziploc bag in the freezer for like 40 minutes. Something just makes it a little firmer, and the juices kind of freeze a little bit, so it's not so wet. Put
Right.
it in your vacuum seal bag, vacuum seal it. Dude, shit does not get freezer burnt because there's no air. It's just
There's no
fucking
air.
tight.
Right.
Also, for marinades.
Oh, okay.
If you vacuum seal a marinade in the meat fucking literally gets pulled open by the vacuum,
yeah,
and the fucking marinade gets in that shit. And I'm like, all that sounds like why I need a vacuum sealer.
yeah.
So I bought one.
Okay.
And of course, my first thing was like, I'm like, I roll my own cigarettes, so like I potentially could roll some and vacuum seal them and see how long they can be preserved for.
Right.
So I devised this whole system because first I tried to vacuum seal just like 20 cigarettes I rolled just in a bag, and it crushed them literally flat. Like yes, it was vacuum sealed, but when I took them out, they were like a cartoon character hit by like an anvil. They were like flat as fuck. And it was really weird. It crushed the filter down flat, and like even when you try to like make them round again, it was all loopy and weird and like loose, and I was like, fuck, right? So I'm like, oh, I'm smart. So I got cardstock, and designed my own little paper packs for the cigarettes. Okay. So my big cigarette packs that I refill, they're like plastic and they have a hinge and stuff. They can hold 26 cigarettes. So I put 26 in.
Okay.
So I made basically what looks like a little cassette tape box. You know, like sometimes cassette tapes came in the cardboard box where it just slipped in.
Yeah.
I basically made that where it can hold 2 cigarettes wide by 13 tall. Right.
Okay.
And I'm like, the paper, the cardstock will hold them together and stop them from getting crushed flat because it's held in by cardstock.
That makes
sense. And it'll all be good, you know. So I vacuum sealed one, and I vacuum sealed a good number of them, and I actually put dates like, okay, I did them on April 1st, but like I'm gonna open this one on May 1st, this one on June 1st, and like basically I see how many months I can go.
Right.
Opening different ones every month to see how long they stay good. Right. So this is so funny. So we went to go see the Minecraft movie, which is fantastic, by the way. Have you seen the Minecraft movie?
No, but my buddy Jason is vehemently against it, and he's just
Jason.
Not,
why?
Yeah, he's just not about it, and I think
about
he's just
what?
The live action of it. I think he's just like, nobody asked for I don't know. He's just very passionate about it. And
I don't know. I do agree maybe that nobody asked for it, but like if it had to be done, having Jared Hess, the same guy that did Napoleon Dynamite, having Jared Hess direct it was the correct call.
Oh, okay.
Like, I love it because, dude, it takes being fucking campy and like knowing it's the Minecraft movie to like the 8th meta level.
Okay.
We're like, dude, Jack Black just opens up by doing a voiceover introducing the entire idea of Minecraft, his origin story with Minecraft, basically what would have been the plot of like a first movie.
Right.
He summarizes in like 4 minutes.
Oh, wow.
With visuals and shit that are hilarious. Yeah. Then it's like, now here's what basically would be like the really good middle movie. Mm-hmm. Like now you're seeing that movie.
Oh, that's neat.
And is Jared Hess, so it has all that quirky Napoleon Dynamite shit that's just awesome. Like it also has a ton of like references to the game in it that it's just good. I really like it.
Okay.
I think Jason Momoa is really good in it. It's got Enid from Wednesday, which I love her and she's great in the movie. It's really good. Anyway, because it's not trying to be the best movie ever. It's a Jared Hess movie. It's just weird, but it's cool. And the kids really loved it. So, also what's really cool is like audience participation.
I heard about that. Yeah.
People are going nuts. There's like certain lines, and like we even clapped. Like everybody in our theater clapped. It was pretty cool. So just after I saw that movie, I was running low on cigarettes, and I was like, you know what? I'm actually gonna open. So I had vacuum sealed a pack that was older that was gonna be opened in like 8 months.
Yeah.
And I just needed one more pack of fucking cigarettes for like the day, and then I could roll more later, but I just didn't have time. So I'm like, I'll just unseal this one and smoke it. It's fine. Well, I'd never like really like dealt with like the cigarettes from the new pack now, like the cardboard thing I made.
Yeah.
They did not get crushed flat.
Okay.
But they were made into perfect squares.
Oh,
like the way it sealed them down and the vacuum, they're Minecraft cigarettes, dude.
Okay.
They are completely like a cylinder. I don't know what the name for this is, but a cylinder that's a cube, just longer.
Yeah.
Like dude,
just like a rectangle.
Yes, like a 3-dimensional rectangle. It's almost like you know the classic like rectangular watermelons that they grow in Japan.
Yes.
Imagine that, but longer, and that's my cigarette.
Oh, okay.
Are
they watermelon flavored?
No.
Oh,
they're like a straight McDonald's fry, just fucking square down to the fucking thing. So I just felt so weird because like they were in my normal pack, but whenever I'd open it up to pull one out, they were like that. Right. And they kept that shape. I was hoping they would like expand when they were out of the vacuum. No.
Yeah. So
I've got to figure out a way to not make Minecraft cigarettes because they look ridiculous.
That's funny.
It looks like, sometimes I guess it's called julienne when you like say cut carrots like that in those like sticks. Oh, okay. It looks like I have that stick. It looks like I'm in an N64 game smoking a cigarette.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
Like my fist should be like this, just a straight fist.
Right.
Like an N64, you couldn't move. There's polygons. No individual fingers. It was just it was this. It should be this with like a little boop.
Yeah.
Like a little like sticking out of it. And I'm like,
this is why the audio only people need to come here for this. It's fantastic.
Yeah, totally. But anyways, that's Minecraft cigarettes.
Okay, great.
I need to figure out how to not make. There's different strength settings on the vacuum, and one is called gentle. I think I need to use gentle, not.
Oh, okay.
I used normal or heavy. I can't remember.
Well, let's see. So yeah, we got to name this thing. I think we can call it we call it semi. We can call it semi archangel. Like semi and angel, but semi archangel.
Oh, send me an archangel. Okay.
Yeah. Or we could also
Francisco wanted to play on the Ribbler. Or Japanese Virginia Slims, which that's fucking hilarious. That's exactly what I'm smoking right now. And they're so compressed.
Yeah.
It's like instead of smoking a normal cigarette, it's almost they're so compressed. It's almost like smoking like a fucking incense. Incense like burns and it just like burns very slow and like it just stays the same shape, just turns into ash. It's basically what my cigarettes do. What was the one you said before?
I said send me an archangel, and then
send me an archangel sounds pretty funny because we do make fun of him.
Yeah, and it's
what's his name again?
Raptar. Yeah. It's so stupid. Like, oh god. I mean, I guess most superhero names are stupid until you get
they are. They all pretty much are.
But yeah, that's the best thing. Unless we can come up with something with hot chocolate, because that's the only other big thing that that we talked about.
I think Send Me an Archangel was inspired. I think that just
I think so too.
Sounds right there because it was a big moment in the comic. Like
it's on the cover. I mean, it's the part.
Yeah. They say that Archangel will save us. It's basically the song that was playing when he went down there.
Oh yeah. Oh, see, I was thinking "Send Me an Angel" from real life. When a girl walks in, and and a turtle falls out. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but we could do that. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so what do you want to?
I'll do the number.
You'll do the number. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just think.
Yeah.
I'll just say Simeon.
Well, you're gonna do your normal version where it's just you saying like it faster, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. This is Turtle Soup, episode 333.
Send me an archangel oh, right now. Right now.
Fucking go, dude. That's good. That's really good. Okay, fuck. No, do that. Just do that again.
Okay.
Because I realized that all right, so should I say this is Turtle Soup episode 333, 333,
No.
or episode 333?
333 sounds fine. I think 333 is good.
You think I said 333?
No.
You say that way?
No, if you want to, because
because we would do the tree instead of 3, but that'd be really sticking on it a lot.
It's up to you if you want to do it.
I'll say 3. I'll say 333.
I like either one. I'm good with it. 333.
Okay. I just want to make sure it doesn't sound like I'm doing like a speech impediment impression.
Yeah, that's not
what I'm intending to do.
No. So maybe 333 is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is Turtle Soup, episode 333.
Send me archangel. Oh, send me archangel. Right now. Right now. Yeah, that's how it goes. Right now.
When you edit it, you should put a gigantic gap between the right now and the last right now. Like you should like insert like
right
5-10 seconds between it, and then right now, like it should be like so long, dude. That'd be so good.
I'll do that. It's funny because that's the first that was the first 7-inch I bought. This band in Lakeland covered that song, and I was like, and I loved cover. I mean, I still do, but like, but I was like, oh, cool. And then like I was like, oh, I'm definitely getting this. And it was Dennis and Mars. They covered Real Life Send Me an Angel. And I was like, oh, I love that. But
that's sick. The first 7-inch I bought was on Nebraska.